Hey there, folks. Welcome back to another stream. And Mark is running a bit late, I guess. So I didn't know when that would be. So I figured do the stream, start now, talk to you guys, and wait a bit until he arrives. And that way, say hi to the chat, to anyone who's in the chat. Hey there, Bobby. Hope you're doing well. I know previously I saw Predminator, Silver Wings, RJ, Real Team Pin. They did your request, Real Team Pin. We'll do it as soon as I can. Jesse, doing okay. Can't complain too much. Other than being hot as hell here in Texas. It's like 82 degrees at night. It's supposed to feel like 91. So you damn skippy the AC and the high ceiling fan on high speed is on. Because otherwise it'd be too much like an oven. Hey there, Jojo. Godzilla fan for life. Thank you, Predminator. Hey there, Foddy. Hey. Oh yeah, he's got to get ready. So just saying hi to people in the chat. Hope everyone's doing while Mark is getting ready. And yeah, can't complain too much of them being hot here in Texas and sweating my forehead off to have a 5 head by the end of the stream. Or a 6-pack of head.
So what's up? How's everybody doing out there?
Doing well so far. Yeah, Jojo, it worked out fine. Thank you, Jojo. But yeah, things are going okay. How about you?
Good, man. I wish I could say I was excited to watch this, but I'd be lying if I did.
Thank you, Trader. If you like, feel free to give me a link to that. I'd love to give that a listen to. Is it on your YouTube channel? You said podcast. I have to check that out because I didn't even know you did that. But thank you, man. You gave us a shout out. Thank you.
Thanks for that, man. I had no idea. Yeah, send it to me too on the Discord. I'll definitely check it out.
Thank you. That was nice of you, man. What was it? Death by Stereo? Oh, yeah, like Lost Boys.
Lost Boys, yeah.
Death by Stereo. I have to look into that. I guess the Death by Stereo podcast. Is that just the whole name? So I'm doing this because I know in my brain I'm gonna forget shit. So thank you. I appreciate that. We both appreciate that. Thank you, Trader. Yeah, I did a real kingpin. Broke the fucking VHS. It deserved it. Oh, thank you. Let me get to before YouTube makes them disappear. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it. Well, if I'm sleeping in bed and Mars said, "Hey, Alien 3 is your favorite movie now," I'd be like, "What are you doing in my bedroom?" Why is a black man doing my bedroom?
The xenomorph's in your bedroom now. It's gonna get you while you're sleeping.
Well, I mean, there is that one professor that I forget what college he was that said Alien and Predator were racist, and one of the reasons was the alien, like because they're black, and like the alien queen apparently is a female black woman. It was like a black professor, so like he did like Predator, and the Predator's racist because he has dreadlocks and shit. I swear to God, that's a real thing.
He'd really think Alien 3's racist. There's the super face hugger that they cut out of the movie is black, actually. I don't know if you've ever seen that, but it was actually really cool. That design was
every day in the bathroom.
The design was badass though. Like I liked it. Like just the look of it and everything. It wouldn't have saved the movie, but it was still Very cool design, and too bad they didn't use it.
Oh, thank you, Trader. It'll be up tomorrow. Thank you. I'll check that out. I appreciate that, man. Thank you. And thank you, Angel. One of the worst fucking films in my category, for my point of view, yes, because of just how it. Well, I mean, we'll obviously get into it, but the initial idea. And here's the thing: like, you could look and say some of the acting, like Charles has done, is good. I think the musical score is very top notch by Elliot Goldenthal. I think it deserves a better movie. Honestly.
Yeah, always been a big fan of his. I know he did like Batman Forever and a couple other ones.
Demolition Man.
Really like.
Yeah, he did Demolition Man.
Yeah, he's really good.
It's a great score. There's some good looking shots that David Fincher got out of it, but just the story, the premise, the funeral procession, that just is such a terrible direction that just has a bad core. You can have an apple that has some fancy dressing on the side, and on the outside it looks all shiny and buffed out, but then you eat it and there's a STD worm ready to go down your throat and now you're piss hole.
I mean, there's a lot technically there. Again, from a technical level, the way he shot certain sequences, having the camera low, lighting from underneath instead of overhead or right out. The set design is pretty interesting. Yeah, from a production design standpoint, there's a lot that's there. I mean, they got guys from Aliens to that do effects and stuff. Tom Woodruff. They didn't have the great Stan
and Alec
Winston.
Gillis.
Yeah, like there's some stuff there. It just as a whole, it doesn't quite.
Well, I don't think Stan Winston was involved in this, right? It was just Alec Gillis and Tom Woodruff.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Yeah, they didn't have him like sort of steering the ship on this one. It's still again, nothing would have saved it though. That's the thing. Like they got talented people involved, but it was a mess from the start. It was never going to work. But yeah, we'll get into that in a few minutes.
And yeah, well, David Fincher hates it for different reasons. Like he hates it because of the experience he had, and just the studio just completely cut him off, nitpicking. I mean, it was a bad idea from the get-go, to be honest. So
yeah,
if he had zero issues with the studio, I still would not like it because I don't like its setup. I think the setup in itself ruins the movie and the franchise for me.
Okay. Real quick though, I want to get this out there. If anybody's got a link to the theatrical cut, please put it in the chat. You don't have to though, but if you do have one, that would help. Only because I have to watch it on my DVD and my TV's over there. So the entire stream, I'm gonna be doing this, like doing that. So
we had a week. We had a week. You couldn't find a week.
See, that's the thing. Like it's the same thing as T2 when we did that. It says the running time of the theatrical on the stream,
right?
But then you start them and it's the special edition. So it's fucking annoyed the hell out of me. But yeah, I tried. Thanks, Silver Wings. I tried. I checked archive. They didn't have it, which bugs the hell out of me about archive. Like you go on there and you search for something. They'll send you like 50 results back, but it's never the thing you're looking for. But oh well. At least I got my DVD queued up.
I agree, Trader. It pisses me off too. Yeah, it ain't worth the link. It ain't worth shit. Take a sausage link. Take a sausage link and shove it up his ass.
But yeah, I mean, you mentioned Fincher a minute ago. Like he said, nobody hates the film more than him. He still hates it to this day. There's a lot that went wrong. I respect the hell out of him. Obviously, was always a good filmmaker, and he couldn't help what they gave him to work with. And it was an ever changing script. Actually, I think they said they started and there wasn't a script because what they had initially got changed. So they took it away. And then the pages that he did have, they'd call him the day he's supposed to start shooting and say, "Hey, don't shoot anything. We're changing some stuff." That was like every day, if not every other day. So,
Just shoot all the asshole prisoners who are rapists and murderers and was supposed to give a flying fuck if they live or die, or
exactly.
for some reason.
Name one likable character that isn't at least like a well-known actor, and by that I mean obviously the Ripley character or Charles O. Studden's character or whatever. But all those other guys, they all look the same. Everybody's head shaved. They got the barcode like they're fucking hitman, and it just they all blend together. It's like I said before, it's just a bunch of random shitheads.
What do you mean we all look the same? I know what you mean.
I know.
They're all shaved. They all have barcodes.
Yeah.
I recognize some of the actors. Pete Postlethwaite, he was in The Lost World, Jurassic Park 2.
Mm-hmm.
He's passed away. There are other people. Charles Dance plays the doctor. My sweet brother Numsy. It just shit stripped, in my opinion.
Yeah. I mean, it changed a million times over. Before, during, and after. They were writing new pages as he was shooting. They were undermining him. Even Sigourney said, like, she loves David, but he couldn't catch a break the entire time. You got to respect the hell out of him too. I mean, I don't know if you've seen that clip when he was like on the set. He's like, "Fox, 20th Century Fox." Like, the guy had some balls, but I mean, it's it's. I think
that's what most of us said.
Yeah,
that's what most of us said.
Yeah, that's what this movie should be called. It's not Alien 3. It's David Fincher versus 20th Century Fox. That's the name of the movie.
But there are people like it, to each their own. There are people that defend it, to each their own. There are people this is their favorite, to each their own. I don't agree at all.
Favorite, like out of the franchise? Like out of all of them? What? Come on.
Yeah, I've seen plenty of that.
Yeah, it's weird. This
I don't know. It's the David Fincher. Maybe it's the David Fincher thing. Maybe because of just how bleak, and they call it ballsy. They call it refreshingly dark, and like people who like dark movies. And I don't mean like Black Dynamite. I mean like
yeah,
dark as in like nihilistic. They like nihilistic movies, so this is more their cup of tea. They like bleak movies because life is bleak and it's not cookie cutter, and that's the stuff they say, the lines they say and throw out there. It's not cookie cutter. It's I forget the other phrases they use.
I mean, just because it's not cookie cutter doesn't make it good, though. The guys that were involved in the production said a lot of it looks bad. Like, they're not sure like why the studio went with this cut and why they made the changes that they made. And there was a ton of stuff that got left on the cutting room floor. Put it this way. This sums up the entire movie. They talked about how when they finished the movie, when they were done, they didn't wrap. On every film, they wrap filming. They're done shooting. They just stopped shooting. That's a direct quote from the DP, producer. They stopped shooting. They did not wrap the movie. They just stopped. And they said, at some point we just got to stop shooting because we're shooting all sorts of stuff and we got to stop at some point. That's what happened. So take that for what you will.
But I guess we'll get started. We've been chatting for about 15 minutes. So for those who watch this after the fact, we're watching the theatrical cut. It's about an hour and 54 minutes, give or take. And if you hear a cat in the background, he probably knows I'm watching this and he's begging me not to do it, but I can't.
It's an hour and
tough
54
kitty.
minutes too long.
I'll be paused at the beginning. I'll count down from 3. Yes, Marq, very nice backdrop you got there with all the molten, the sparks, that you put over here, the background.
Oh yeah.
And
let me see if I can do something here. Let's see. Can I
sure.
change it?
And why does the alien look like in your background, he's humping the ground? He's in a position to get butt fucked.
He's crawling. I can't.
Okay, look at behind Marq. Does that look? Does that? Okay, wait. Put your up first.
Okay.
Yours bigger, right?
You're better with the layouts. I'm fucking this whole thing.
But I do it. What you did to me, like do it to look at Marq, right? Does that not look like he's ready to get butt fucked? He's on his knees. His tail's lifting up. He is ready for someone to butt fuck him into, just like this franchise got butt fucked into oblivion. He's in the pole position. He's ready to take it up the Hershey Highway, probably with his own tail. That explains the whole franchise. Oh yeah, I mean, yeah, it does take place in a prison. So if you watch Oz, it's a lot. There you go, Alien Oz style. There you go, prison. That's how the prison should defeat him. See, that was their problem. They tried to kill it. They should have gone the other way. It says, "Where do I have some? Grab it and tie it down with bars of soap."
That was H.R. Geiger's thing. I don't know if you know about that. He designed like a what was it called? Alien erotic or xenoerotic or something like that. And like he
did.
He drew like a scene where like somebody was supposed to make out with the xenomorph. It was this weird
I'm sure
shit.
he did.
He drew so much crazy shit. Yeah, they didn't really use like any of it, but anyway, let's start. I'm gonna get to the Fox logo.
Oh, you want to get to the Fox logo? Okay, 1 second.
Mm-hmm.
Like right when it starts. Okay, I'm there.
Okay.
Like right when it starts.
Okay, hold on.
Let me know when you're ready.
It's got the whole Weland thing up there, and
but yeah, the alien, the prison sure just groped it and used all the holes. Then maybe they would have defeated it. See, they went the wrong direction. They should have watched more Oz.
They didn't have TV. That was the problem. Okay, I'm pause that 1 second.
I don't pay. I don't punk. As a Mr. Jean-Claude Van Damme would say, I don't pay. I don't punk. All right, we'll pause at the beginning. 3, 2, 1, pressing play.
Yep.
And 20th Century Fox. And then they change it here where it screeches at the end. That's the sound of the audience after they watch the film. Is that high-pitched screech about Dow.
You can't hear mine, can you?
No, you're fine.
Okay, good.
Again, I'll give credit where Elliot Golenthal's score is very good. Like I said, he did Demolition Man. You mentioned he did Batman Forever. He did Batman and Robin. This deserves a better movie. This score. I could listen to the score and be perfectly fine. But this movie, as Sigourney Weaver's like, I don't want guns. Guns are bad. Even though she used guns in Cabin in the Woods at the end, Paul at the end of that movie, that Bruce Willis film Cold Light of Day. Like she's fine with using guns all the time afterward, except in this movie. Explain that to me.
I don't even think she could.
I don't know if anyone could.
Yeah. I can't hear mine, but that's okay. I don't think I really need to. But I would like to hear the music.
You put subtitles on.
Yeah, I just wanted to hear the score because I never watched the movie, but one of my main things that I do like about it, if anything, is the score. Like you mentioned, Demolition Man, he also did Heat and Pet Sematary as well, which I like. So, Yeah, he's very talented guy. It's just
This beginning is so much fucking bullshit.
yeah.
It's so bullshit. Where'd the eggs come from? I don't fucking know. How did the eggs get there?
They don't know. The studio has no idea. They just
I mean,
decided to show it.
would the queen have that much time to shoot out a couple eggs in between leaving orbit and when it gets Bishop? Would it really have that much time? Really?
Apparently so.
I guess. Hey, Mike. Hope you're doing well. Thanks, man.
Yo, what's
Yeah,
up, Mike?
Saturday's the birthday. Yeah, 25th Saturday's the birthday. Thank you, Mike.
Oh shit, that's right.
Yeah, Saturday.
Happy
Which I'll be doing a
birthday in
stream
advance.
7 p.m.
Oh, on
Thanks.
Saturday?
Yeah, 7 p.m. Central, I'll do a stream.
Cool.
Just birthday stream. Why not?
Cool.
Bishop did not bring it on board. I've heard about that. That made zero sense to any of his programming that we've seen before and after.
Yeah, I don't buy that. I mean, they had so many renditions of this movie. Like initially, they couldn't even figure out like where to put it and how to do anything. Like at least in terms of the setting, I remember they were talking about their very first thought was like to put it on a planet that was inhabited by people that work for the Weland Corporation, and they were all going to be like scientists, and they were going to be studying, I guess, face huggers. But to me, that just sounds like sort of like the stuff that they didn't shoot for Aliens. You know, that whole the colonists, and then we see the aftermath of like their work. Obviously,
Yeah.
things went crazy there, but that was their plan, was to like do that. Um, I don't know, man. Like it just, no matter what they decided, none of it was good. I mean, this isn't good, obviously, but all the ideas that they talked about, they got good writers on it too. But even they had trouble with it because the studio was just, they were turning everything down and changing stuff left and right. They
Well,
got Eric Red on it, who wrote The Hitcher. It's a great writer.
yeah.
Um, but it
Wasn't
just,
his like a weird one? It was like farm animals turned to aliens or something like that.
I
Weird
don't,
ass stuff.
I don't, I'm not sure about that, but it's
And then you had the
possible.
wooden planet with monks.
I do remember
That
hearing
was the
about
script
that.
before this. That was going to be done by the guy who did What Dreams May Come afterward.
Mm-hmm.
And hey there, Retro Crypt. But yeah, God, this is such bullshit. Yeah, let's kill off Hicks. Why the fuck do we need Hicks? You know?
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, let's kill off Newt. What the fuck we need Newt for? Why the fuck we need anybody? You know? People only liked aliens. It was only a fucking crowd pleaser that people liked. Fuck it. You know, make the whole ending pointless. Last 20 minutes of the 30 minutes of the fucking movie is her getting ripped Newt. She didn't need to. She just could have just left. In fact, she had just left, she'd be alive. Because the AIDS wouldn't been on board, probably.
Mm-hmm.
So, yes, you should. That's the point, people. Leave people's ass. Called save ass. That means you move like a motherfucker and you don't worry about anybody else. Just worry about yourself and you'll live. That's
Mm-hmm.
the tell all of this. If you save somebody, you don't get fucked. That's what happened to Ripley. She saved Newt, only get fucked. Everybody gets fucked in this movie.
Pretty much. Yeah,
Sorry,
Mike
I'm going
is
on. I hate this shit so much. I hate it.
oh, you're fine. I'm right there with you. Mike's talking about Michael Bain. He's right. I do remember hearing about that. Like he didn't want, like, because they were going to shoot a scene where like the alien was going to burst out of his chest or something, and he's like, no. He's like, I'll sue you if that happens. And then they said that they're like, well, we'll pay you for your picture, which we just saw up on the screen there. And he said he made just as much money on Aliens as he did for them using his picture right there.
I think they say he made more. He made more for that picture.
And he said he wished he had known, like, if Fincher, he knew Fincher was going to become Fincher, he would have been like, no, just use it for free. Just give me a job in the future. Oh, this looks so shitty. Like, what the fuck is that? Those are supposed to be special effects, people.
It's the wind.
Yeah. It's the wind. But
It's a PC game.
PC games look better than this shit. It's funny, like you got like all this stuff going on, and like it all just, goddamn, it goes nowhere. Like you got the dog thing, because like I remember they had the giant ox or whatever that got the face hugger on it, and oh man, those designs were just fucking silly when they showed like the because I know one idea was for them to put a dog in the suit, and I remember watching that scene. It just looks fucking terrible. They were like, "Yeah, this isn't working. We got to change that." So there's another bunch of time wasted on something they didn't even use.
I find the Alec Gillis Tower Jr. They'll defend that, but they'll shit on Leviathan.
I have not heard
as
them
they
shit
did
on
on the
Leviathan.
Blu-ray.
Oh,
On the
wow.
Blu-ray, the special features that's like 50 minutes long. It's just them shitting on the movie, and it's a bad movie, and the effects suck. It's like, oh, can I talk about Alien 3 instead? They the dog Alien. I'm like, what the fuck?
Where the fuck is it? There's most of it is like replaced by terrible like effects that don't even work. I know they were saying like stop motion won't work. It doesn't look good. It's too dated. They tried using the puppet, shooting it at different frames and stuff. It just, man, I don't know. None of the
Civil Wings.
go ahead.
Sorry, I was going to say, Civil Wings. They did with Stan Winston on Leviathan. The same guys who worked on Leviathan worked on this. Alec Gillis Timber Jr. They worked on Leviathan with Stan Winston.
Mm-hmm.
So they shit over it where Stan Winston can't defend it, but they'll praise this. And it's like I've heard them praise the movie too, maybe because it's Fincher or whatever. I like Fincher. Don't get me wrong. I like Fight Club. I like Seven. My favorite is actually The Game.
Love The Game.
But I hate this.
Yeah.
And Charles Dance is a good actor. I don't give a fuck about his character though.
No. I mean, he's much like everybody else, just going through the motions of this. Not that he really wanted to. I'm sure he wanted to make a good movie. I mean, they all did. When you watch the making of, they were enthusiastic about the project, and when they got there, they were all having a good time making it for the most part. But like the end result, you can't defend it. Like, I mean, maybe you could defend Venture for how the studio fucked him over, but like you can't defend the movie. There's just no way.
Trader, the video games are good because there's actually guns. You can actually do shit. And I've seen like Silver Wings here on the channel. He's played the Genesis one, and that looked like a good game. I played the Super Nintendo one a long time ago, and the Genesis one, Ripley lives. Funny enough, in that game, at the end of the game, Ripley lives. It's like they knew. And then both they had guns. It's like they knew. It's stupid not to have fucking guns because the actress said no. And it's like, well, it's different. No, it's just going back to the first film then, where they barely had weapons except maybe a flamethrower. So it's just, that's all it is. Just going back to the first one with one alien, stalking people one by one. And only have not only less interesting characters and more strips with continuity because of all the strip rewrites, but again, you have this nihilistic, depressing tone that was never really part of the first two films.
No.
And it's like, okay, it's different. Doesn't mean it's good, like you said.
Right. Yeah. And they wondered why it suffered box office wise. Now, it did make money, like um, globally, like when you look at the worldwide gross, but domestically, it made like 50 million or something. It was not a hit at all domestically. Internationally, it did well. I know they were saying in Europe it did good, China, stuff like that. Like they liked it over there, and it did make a lot more money internationally. But I think word of mouth is a bigger thing here, even for back then. They were like, no, this this is not as good as the first two.
I mean, what rewatchability would you have to want to go back to see it? Like, what would be if you talk to someone and you go, you need to see this film, and they ask you why? What would you tell them?
Well, I wouldn't tell anybody that.
Well, there you go.
I mean, there's nothing to tell. I tell people just to not watch it, honestly. I mean, you don't, there's nothing in it that you need to see that's going to add anything to mythology, or like there's no great characters that you get that you have to see. There's no interesting arcs or anything. It just shits all over the second film, if anything. That's the one thing it does succeed at.
Yeah, it does. And yeah, I didn't even think about the poster behind me. I guess I'm kind of hiding it so it doesn't have to see. Yeah, Chris, maybe if Alien Resurrection gave me cramps, this gives me migraines, or pulled groin. Uh, yeah, Mike. Yeah, a lot of people say that it's such a underrated, brilliant masterpiece.
Yeah, it's a
Maybe in
misunderstood masterpiece or some shit. No, it's not. Come on.
I Bald Ripley. I didn't really care one way or another. I didn't care. There was a lot more issues I had with it.
And they had to I think it was in her contract. They had to pay her more money if she had to shave her head again for reshoots. And what do you think happened? They had to do reshoots, but they ended up doing uh, a shaved head like cap like over her hair instead. And I think that took like a week for them to make just the cap, because they had to put in hundreds of thousands of like her little short hairs into the foam latex. And
Mm-hmm. Predminator. I've never heard James Cameron mention liking Alien 3.
he probably did
I guess
say
that's
that
one
and
film.
backtracked. I could see him saying like, "Oh yeah, it's great," and then like 10 years later, he's like, "No, that movie's trash." Yep. What's up, Danny? I see you in here, man. What's going on?
Hi there, Danny Dundada. Hey there.
Yeah, Mike. Yeah, you're right. I was just talking about that. Like, it's what a waste. This is the problem. There's so many things that they wasted money on. I remember they even for the reshoots, like they go back and do the reshoots, and then I think they said like a week or two later they wanted to change the ending. So like they were screening a movie for the execs and stuff, and it had no ending really, and they wanted to change everything that was leading up and how it looked, and they weren't happy with this and that. And Fincher wanted to fill in like a bunch of different things that he thought the film was missing, like A, B, C, D type of thing. And they were like, okay, well, you can go back and you can shoot B and C, but you can't do A or D. And it's like, what the fuck? Like, isn't he the director? Like, it's just ridiculous.
And yeah, this is what we wanted to see. We wanted to see Ripley play with a naked little girl, autopsy, this whole thing. Maybe people who are into necrophilia or people in Hollywood will like that, but us normal folks, we don't really like that shit.
Yeah, they cut that out. That ended up on the cutting room floor. More money wasted. They shot that whole sequence where they did her autopsy, and it was super graphic and gory. And the effects guys were like, "This is too much. Like maybe we did too much, and like we feel like we're sick from making this. Like just from watching it, and they cut it out."
The autopsy is supposed to showcase the death of innocence. That does sound like what some pretentious fuck would say. And I mean, if they like the film, fine, but when they like get on you and like belittle you, then I call them a pretentious fuck. If you like the film, that's fine, but if you're like, you don't get it, you're pretentious fuck. Shut up. Put the penis in your mouth and suck it. Not because you like the film, but because you're being a pretentious asshole. Not you, Mike. I'm just saying, I've seen those. It was like, people are wrong. Well, history's on my side because it flopped like a motherfucker and got shit on for good reason.
Yeah, it was panned critically as well. They did not like it at all. Yeah, the wooden planet idea was stupid. I remember seeing the sketches of the wooden planet. It looked fucking terrible. That wouldn't have worked either. Why the fuck would a planet be made of wood? Like
I don't know.
it's the most ridiculous shit ever. Like,
Was there
god
something about
damn.
gold as well? Not or gold or something like that they keep the planet moving and the months work on it, and I can't remember. It was, but
Yeah,
they
I
said yes to it, and then they got so far ahead, and then they're like,
mhm.
"Wait, this is stupid." Yeah, you're building the sets on this idea that's fucking stupid. What do you expect?
Yeah, there was going to be initially a lot more like outdoor stuff going on to the planet, and there was people working and stuff. Um, but they just end up, doing the whole prison planet idea.
I don't know. Maybe they make a movie with planet made of marshmallows. Why not? Planet made of wood. I mean, that's the thing. I would rather like. There's a lot of directions to have gone with an EM3, the original, more bigger budget William Gibson script, not the one that they did the audio movie on with Michael Biehn and Lance Henriksen doing the voice. Not that one, because that one is like really nothing happens. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
it was as bad as this, but like it was very boring script. I'm talking about like the original script with like big budget you would need though. Or yeah, don't have those characters at all. They went home and follow, I don't know, a random Marine or someone else.
Mm-hmm.
And well, hell, just have it be like if you want to set in a prison, then it's funny, dun dun dun. You didn't mean to do it, but you actually beat me to it. Do like a Running Man or Death Warrant type of thing, where it's like an innocent man who's put to this prison, and then somehow the company saved a couple, and they want to use these prisoners as experiments, and something goes wrong, something fucks up. The planet's quarantined, and this guy or whoever, yeah, have it be a guy as a lead to be different. That way, you don't have comparisons to Ripley, and
Mm-hmm.
then this guy has to survive, and you have a different. It's like he's got to survive the prisoners, but he's also got to survive the xenomorphs. So can he trust these guys who want to kill him or do worse? But then the xenomorphs, and like there's a lot of like paranoia to deal with. Can I trust you? Type of thing you to deal with. You don't have to do your own thing. You don't have to worry about continuity. I guess the only thing is how can there be other aides? That'd be tough to do.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's got to be a certain way if you put your minds to it. But if you need to do a prison, then just do your own thing. It doesn't have to be linked to and triple the previous film. I don't see how that's a benefit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know that was one of the early ideas too. There wasn't going to be a Ripley. They were just going to start
Mhm.
with a whole different male lead. I remember Rennie Harlan talking about that because he worked on the movie for a long time before he ended up leaving the project, and he sort of saw the writing on the wall, like too many cooks in the kitchen. More and more they kept changing like what they wanted him to do, and it started turning into a whole other different thing. And he's like, well, you guys are kind of just retreading water. And I don't know if it's necessarily a great idea to just have a bunch of dudes running around with guns again. Like maybe we can do something new and fresh with it. um and to me, like, I would have been fine had they done something else and not had Ripley, because I remember Cameron talking about like the whole family aesthetic was kind of set up there, where you have Hicks, got Newt, you got Ripley, and um, there was supposed to be, I don't know if it was in this or like I remember hearing something about like a shot where like um, the camera turns and like they're all like going towards home, like going toward Earth. You would see the Earth planet, and like their story was done. It
Yeah.
was complete. But then you have this where like, oh, let's basically send her to hell on Earth and kill like the only emotional attachment she has.
Let's try something different. So be in one place that you can't escape, where you can't hurt it or kill it, and you kill it all one by one. Oh, like the first movie. That's very, very different.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, I agree with you. They should just they should not have had Ripley in it if that's the case. I'm not saying it automatically would be a good movie. I just think it would be better in terms of not hurting the franchise as a whole.
It's less
And
insulting to the audience. You know that they
yes,
care about those characters by the time we get to the end of the second film, based off the great reception that you got from the movie when it came
less
out.
insulting.
Yeah, like just leave that alone, do your own thing. I would have been more okay with that. Like you said, it wouldn't have made it necessarily better because they would have fucked with the script the entire time anyway. But I could at least live without the extra insult added in of killing characters that I do like.
Mm-hmm.
It's a nice bit of
She's having her.
gore right there.
Oh, go ahead. Oh yeah, dog has period. I know that's not how it works. And yeah, I would have just had not had Ripley, and you could have had, if it's like an everyman character, have like, I don't know, go outside the box, have like Brad Dourif as the lead. That would have been
Mm-hmm.
very intriguing, like someone like that. Uh, Mayor, we're watching the theatrical cut, about 25 minutes and 40 seconds in.
Feels like an hour.
Uh,
Just, just dragging
but
and dragging.
Well, you mentioned that, and Fox said no, it has to be Ripley or nothing else. Even though they also said we could just throw anything at a wall and make an alien movie. Well, probably not, because almost every alien film has, well, yeah, almost every alien film has bombed since then. So obviously that didn't work out. Resurrection didn't do well. Covenant didn't do well. I
Mm-hmm.
guess you call Prometheus an alien film. I guess technically that probably did
Yeah.
a bit better.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, but and look where Fox is now,
Yeah.
up up Disney's ass.
Yep. Pretty much.
But that's what happens when you do stupid shit like this repeatedly. This film, Speed 2 Cruise Control, those later X-Men movies, Die Hard 5. There's not like the first four, but Die Hard 5, like all those other like a lot of those superhero, Fox movies they did. Lo and behold, they flop. People don't like them, and then you lose so much money. Then someone buys you out, and you're not in Fox anymore.
No, man, it's a shame.
20th Century Studio. I mean, they did it to themselves, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, my hate for Fox was always legendary amongst my friends. I would always talk about how dumb they were. Yeah, like it just. I mean, they've ruined what you just said. I mean, they've ruined like every franchise that they've had that was actually worth a damn, and they dug their own grave so deep that like they pretty much ran out of money. They were in debt that they had to sell to Disney. I mean, they had to come in and pick up all those really cool IPs that they had, and now we're just going to get more stuff. So that wasn't really a savior, but it just, man.
And I mean, someone was asking about the. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say, I mean, it didn't even stop there. I mean, some TV shows as well. X-Files, a prime example, how that got fucked up. They made a lot of bad decisions on that too. Go ahead, though.
No, I was like, someone was mentioning Alien Romulus. What do you think about it? I think nothing about it. I mean, when the director tells you it starts off as Alien, and then you won't know it, but then it'll turn to Aliens. How's it interesting to me? I just watch Aliens at home. I just watch them at home back to back. I don't know. You see your fucking movie to see the same fucking film with a rip-offly as the lead. Like, I mean, a wannabe Ripley and characters that could very well suck, and I'm supposed to give a shit? No.
Yeah, I've been seeing that a lot, like that the director is saying that like it's Alien, then it slowly turns to Aliens, but that's not how you want to sell your movie, man, at all. That's the worst thing you could do.
Nostalgia.
Yeah, and I know that does work to a degree, but in the long run, you got to have more than nostalgia. You need something original, something fresh. But to me, I think the wells run dry. I'm good with the first two movies. If I never got another Alien movie again in my life, I'm fine. The first two are so good. I can live with those.
Yeah.
We talked about Neil Blomkamp's idea, which was interesting. Did I need it? No, but it was an interesting idea. It seemed like he had all the storyboards and everything ready to go. It seemed like it was all his own original idea, and he did pay respect and tribute to the characters that he probably grew up loving, just like we did. So I could appreciate that. But I didn't have to have it. Like, I mean, we didn't get it anyway, so it's not like I'm losing sleep over it.
And Civil Wings asked an interesting question, because Disney seems to have a monopoly on entertainment. Do you think that's why a lot of things, well, he says everything, but pretty much everything sucks nowadays? Well, yeah, I mean, people follow what makes money. When Disney, at the time where it was at its peak, and 8 out of the 10 or 7 out of the 10 biggest box office hits of the year is from Disney, studios look at that and go, we want that. What did they do? How did they do it? What happens then? You copy it. If it's politics, copy the politics. If it's the humor, copy that type of humor. If it's nostalgia or really honing in on the 80s or honing on the certain plot points that seem typical, but yet they're making money, let's copy that. I mean, it's easier to copy than to make something original. Like, right, original doesn't automatically mean it's good, but again, it's easier for them to see either a TV show or a remake or a property and take it, copy it, see a trope, copy it. And I mean, at the end of the day, it's always been about business. There are good movies that come out, but it's no different. That it's been a business the whole time, and that will never change. Sometimes you get a better percentage of movies that are good or worth a watch, but they copy. I mean, that's the thing. So they copy who's number one at the time. A lot of people copied Disney, and you're seeing the effects of that because I've read multiple articles that say this is like the worst box office season in a long time, especially coming out this summer. But like, even films that seem decent, like people got burnt out on such a slate of movies they thought were terrible that it's hard for them to take a chance on much of anything. So even if a film may be decent, it's like, I'll wait till streaming. I don't need to pay because I don't want to be disappointed. And then The Fall Guy? I haven't seen it. Looks fun, but it bombed. I think it's already on VOD, like 13 days later. And you think Twisters is going to be a big hit? No, I don't think so.
They're hoping, but yeah, it probably won't be. Yeah, I mean, talk about going back to the well. It's funny though, with Disney, like, back in like the 90s, they were setting trends with all sorts of stuff that they were putting out that was, to a degree new and fresh, like Lion King or whatever. It's good movies that they had back then. But now they're not setting any trends. Like, they're following trends of what worked in the past. And that, I don't know how they don't see that that's probably the worst thing that you could do.
Yeah.
That I didn't mention that, but that was kind of a cool scene. But again, it was so throwaway. The guy going into the fan blade.
Those fucking fans. Those Ridley Scott fans. That you see in Blade Runner. I always basically, I don't know why. Anytime I think of fan, I always think of like this old interview with Michael Dudikoff. I forget who he's talking about, but he's like, he was calling someone out. It's like, I'm gonna meet you by that fan. I don't know whatever happened to that or whatever happened to that situation. That always stuck with me. I'm gonna meet you by that fan. So that always stuck with me anytime I think of fans. And
exactly, Silver Wings. I was gonna say that. You took the words out of my mouth, bro. What the fuck? Like, she just fucked this guy. Like, I'm trying to
yeah.
How much time are we? 35 minutes in the movie. Wow. So much for Hicks.
I mean, to be fair, Ripley and Hicks weren't an item.
They were not.
And they knew each other maybe, I don't know, 2-3 days. However long Aliens takes place, I don't remember how many days. I don't remember. Maybe more than that. I can't remember. Could have been too long because I don't think they got a whole lot of sleep. But
yeah, it was like a few days.
But it's why would you sleep with a random prisoner? Like, that's another thing. Not just a random guy, but a random prisoner. He's probably in prison for a reason.
Yeah.
And you don't really know why. So I guess Ripley really is a slut. So that's what we find out. You were wrong. You said we don't find out anything. You find out something. She's a slut.
Why didn't she bang Hicks
Ripley's a slut. No time for love during that.
They have more firepower. They have more time.
She didn't know there was an alien at this point.
That brings me to another thing, and I brought this up in the past. I think it might have been on the Resurrection commentary or at some point. So, like,
sure,
they do eventually find out that there's an alien here. You said, like, they didn't know at this point, but they do find out that there's one here. Why the fuck don't they just leave the prison? Can anyone answer that?
Too windy. It's too windy.
Yeah, the wind is so scary. I'd rather just like
Well,
The
people
wind is
argue, why
worse
don't they
than
leave?
getting ripped to
People are
shreds.
arguing aliens. And
Mhm.
aliens, why don't they leave the facility and just wait outside?
Oh, I mean, there are Xenos outside too. Didn't she say they mostly come out at night?
Yeah, I know. It's just I just say that because I know someone's gonna bring it up,
Oh well, yeah,
and that way
of
now
course.
you mention it, so it's not just be hating on the film.
Like it's like they spend that entire end sequence doing this ri- ridiculous, like overly elaborate, like cat and mouse bullshit through these corridors and trying to trap the alien here or there. You have it trapped. It's inside a prison. Go outside. Just go out there and it's trapped inside. Eventually, I mean, one person could have called for help as soon as they figured out like it was there. Everybody go outside.
Could it be
Boom.
it's too
Movie's
cold?
over.
Could it be it's too cold, like the weather
No,
has
because like
changed?
at the beginning, like they're, with the ship or whatever, and like they just got regular coats on. I mean, I don't think it's that cold. You don't see their breath anyway, like when they're breathing. So the planet's like got oxygen. Like it's just windy.
Well, that's why it's too windy.
Yeah.
Well, okay, here's the thing. Do they even know the help is coming? They really don't know help is coming, right?
Um. Now I can't hear
It's
the movie and I just
just
got
what
subtitles on, but
from
I
what I
know it.
remember,
Go ahead.
from what I remember, they didn't want to call the company because she said they would just kill all you. They don't care about you. They just want the weapon. I think it's the one guy, the IQ guy,
Hmm.
that calls for them, and that's why he's waiting for them. So I think the others they don't think anyone's coming. So it's like, well, we can't stay out there forever. So let's try to kill this thing. Otherwise, we're gonna be out there forever, and we can't do that because we can't eat or sleep or anything.
It's a simple solution. You're in a prison full of prisoners. Tell a fucking lie. Just lie to them. You could make up a million. You could say, "Hey, it's a riot. We're being overrun, but the prisoners are going crazy, or the
Would they
habitat's on
care though?
fire, or
Would
well,
they
I mean,
care though?
if the facility's being destroyed by the prisoners, maybe. I mean, but that's the thing. You could come up with any excuse. Okay, don't tell them there's a Xeno there. Tell them that they captured a couple of face huggers. They've captured face huggers. What would you like us to do with these? Don't they want those? I mean, they're valuable to Wayland. Like, go ahead,
Well, aren't these
come get
prisoners
them.
just left there to die, or do people actually come by and give them stuff?
That's a very good question. I don't know,
Because
but
why?
I'm
Why would they? Why wouldn't you just leave them to die? There's no
yeah,
guards. Like there's no.
right.
Just leave them to die, or just nuke the planet or something.
Hmm.
What's to stop them from like fuck all these prisoners? Why are we keeping them alive? There's no purpose. They're not getting
Right.
paroled. It doesn't look like.
Oh, here comes your favorite scene, Matt.
Oh yeah, there's resupplies. Why? Like, why are they resupplying people they don't give a shit about? That looks like no one's going to get paroled. There's nobody watching for their safety. We're going to give you supplies so you stay alive, but we're not going to have someone stay here to make sure you stay alive.
Hmm.
I guess the one boss, whatever. Oh yeah, my favorite scene. Yeah, because this is what was missing in the other Alien films.
He's got to put the goggles on first
Yeah,
and
he's got to be like
and
before
scream.
before Riddick.
Yeah,
Before Riddick, there was this guy.
this is so ridiculous, man.
Hey there, Danny. Why do we? I mean, I guess you say this establishes Charles Dutton's character. Maybe that's the only thing, and that she's in danger. Even,
Hmm.
but I think this is like the only time she's in danger from these guys. I don't think she's ever in danger from them again. So it doesn't
Right.
really sustain that tension throughout.
Hmm.
the pylon or something.
Oh man,
They're not doing a good job watching them since all this other shit going on. I don't know if it's true, but I swear this guy on the right here, the black guy,
mm-hmm.
I swear he's the guy in the last Boy Scout who Bruce Willis is like. He's got a gun on Bruce Willis, and Bruce Willis takes away and beats him up on it. I know I've seen this actor before. I can't remember his name. I think he's done like a lot of bit parts and stuff.
I mean, I've seen that movie a million times, but I can't place his face in that for some reason.
Maybe not. Maybe I'm thinking of something else. It's like after he sees Halle Berry in the bar and he's in the alleyway, you have the one guy with the hat and he's got the gun on him and is like,
mm-hmm.
Bruce was like telling all these jokes about fat jokes and
oh, that guy. Yeah. No, that's not him. That's somebody else.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
I know
okay.
what you're talking about.
Sorry, but I'm just trying to think of better movies. That's why. Because like, who the fuck are these people? Why would you give a shit? Who the fuck are they? Is this like the first time we've seen these people?
Yeah.
What do you mean these people? I mean like all three people, including the white
these
guy.
people.
Who the fuck are these people? Have we seen them before? Who gives a shit?
Yeah. I mean, it does such a poor job. I mean, I don't know if it's just this fucking script or the editing, but like it's establishing like so many of the other characters, like they do such a piss poor job at that. And then like, I mentioned the fan death earlier. Who the fuck was that?
Yeah.
Like, who cares about that guy? Like, he came and went. Same thing with these characters. Like, they're gonna come and go, and that's
well.
Go ahead.
I guess some would argue maybe it's like worked on a slasher film mentality. Just hey, body count. Because people argue with slasher films, do you care about a lot of the characters who die? So you see the blood and gore. So maybe you say it's trying to be the slasher film element. I guess.
I could see that. Like, you have your killer doesn't have a knife. It's a alien killing. I could see the whole slasher aesthetic, but even still, like that doesn't mean it's entertaining or like I want to see any of this happen necessarily, because that's not what I watch an alien film for. I don't watch it to just see people die.
True.
That's what Ridley and Cameron did so well. Like, you kind of get invested in what's going on. Like, you don't just watch it to see them get picked off. But maybe some people do watch it for that, so that's why they like it. I don't know.
Well, I mean, I guess that's the funny thing is that I think it seemed like the films got bloodier and we didn't give a shit because Resurrection's pretty bloody.
Mm-hmm.
The guy who picks out his brain when he gets in the head. I forget the actor's name. Dan Hedaya. The alien hits him in the back of the head. He like picks his part of his brain out. I'm like, the fuck is this? Peter Jackson? Like,
those characters had some personality though. Ron Perlman has personality. Wincott has personality. Winona Ryder. I mean, I may not love those characters, but they still have some sort of semblance of personality. These are just random.
I don't know if Winona Ryder has personality in that. I don't know about Winona Ryder.
Well, I mean, she is supposed to be an android, but I know what you mean.
Yeah, but even Lance Harrison, he's half dead here, and he has more personality than Winona Ryder. At least in that movie. And that's an android too.
This is a cool effect. Yeah, definitely. I mean, she didn't really feel like an android per se. More like she was just in the movie more than anything. She was just playing Winona Ryder, if anything. But yeah, this is a really cool effect. I wish we had more of Bishop in the movie. That would have been cool at least. But I think this is the only scene with him, right? Or what's left of him.
Uh,
And the android version, I mean.
no. Doesn't he, when she finds out there's an alien in her, isn't he there? Well, I'm trying to remember. No, maybe not. I can't remember.
I can't remember either. I never watched Alien 3.
I can't remember.
Yeah, every time I do
Yeah,
watch this movie, it's like watching it for the first time. But just like it's never like in my mind. Like I just have vague like memories of it, and as soon as it's over, it's just forgettable for me anyway.
yeah. I agree. That's a good, special effect, the animatronic there. Pretty much a big puppet.
It's like the only.
Lance appears as Wayland. I just meant as Bishop, as the actual character Bishop.
Yeah, it's the only scene I'm like paying attention to.
And hey there, Caleb. Hope you're doing well. And hi there, Kaiju. Sorry that I missed you guys. Teach their own, Richard 86. I think the both suck. I know people kept telling me the assembly cut was good. I watched it. I didn't give a rat's ass about that cut either, other than the fact it was 30 fucking minutes longer. I mean, great. I see a shitty movie that's 30 minutes longer. It's still shit. At least it's shorter. So I hate both cuts.
Is that
I'm
cut
sorry.
different from the special edition, or is that the same thing?
I think that's the same thing.
Okay.
Like the ox, which I mean, yeah, the dog kind of makes more sense if he's supposed to be so fast. Like, why would it be an ox?
Right.
Thanks go out to Predminator. He sent in the request. He requested a couple of these. He T2 last week, this week Alien 3. So thanks go out to Predminator. He's very nice.
Yeah, shout out to Predminator.
But fuck this movie. But yeah, like the special edition, what? Okay, instead of a dog, it's an ox. A couple scenes talking about religion. Don't give a fuck. The one guy, he lets the alien out. Well, they capture the alien just for the crazy guy to let the alien out.
Right, yeah.
Oh, no, Seven Wings.
I
We've
do
done
remember
Alien
that.
Resurrection. It's on the channel. We did it quite a while ago. But, okay, did you see the special edition?
Yeah, I've seen it. I remember that. I remember one of the producers talking about like how that makes the alien look weak if they could capture it or something. So they decided to scrap the whole scene. But then you had another one saying like, hey, like it's a good idea because it happens sort of like in the middle of the movie and there's anticipation for it to break out because the audience knows the movie is not obviously over yet. So I don't know. Either way, doesn't change anything, doesn't make it good. I've seen the special edition, but it's been a while. I do know there's like another cut floating around, I guess it's like a work print cut, which is probably just as long, if not longer than that one. I know his original cut was 3 hours, which is way too fucking long.
God.
And I never want to watch that.
Is there a good cut?
No. I mean, Fincher even said that the special edition is not his cut. He said that like he doesn't have a cut, basically. Because people would ask him, like, hey, I like your director's cut. And he's like, that's not my cut. Like, I never made a cut. Like, whatever cut you see is just what the studio did. Doesn't matter which one.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, I know people kept telling me the zombie cut is so much better. No, it's still the same shitty film, only 30 minutes longer. You still have characters, don't give a fuck about Ripley. That seems like, who the hell is this character? Fucking people, prisoners, willy nilly, like nothing.
Mm-hmm.
It's not scary. It's not a scary movie.
No.
It's definitely not an exciting action-packed movie. So what the fuck does it have?
Nothing. Like there's some okay gory bits. It's got some gore, but that ain't enough, man. It never is. Like you can't just have that.
Well, they tried to do that Alien Covenant. Look how that worked out. Alien in the
Oh
shower and
yeah.
all that.
Yeah. Oh boy.
We've been watching for 52 minutes. What the fuck has happened, Mark?
A
For
bunch of shit.
52
A
goddamn
bunch of
minutes.
shitheads got ripped up. That's about it.
They kill Hicks, they kill Newt, and a bunch of people you don't know their fucking names got killed. The end. That's all that's happened for 52 minutes of the fucking movie.
Yeah, but this is the best one. It's the best
Why?
of the franchise. I don't know.
Why?
I don't know. You tell me.
I don't know.
Oh,
I just work
man.
here.
This guy's fucking accent is so bad.
I
Like
think the guy on the bed. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
no, it's like it's British, then it's not British, and it's British, and it's not
Yeah.
British. It's so annoying.
Why? Why is that the case? It's like, yeah. Why does his voice like do a 180 like every other 2 minutes?
I think Fincher told him to lose the accent, but he had trouble with doing it, and it just turned out the way it turned out.
That's. But it's so good when a guy can't keep his own accent consistent. We make fun of it in other movies, but we can't do it for this movie. Give me a break.
Yeah.
I think the guy on the bed, I think that's Paul McGann. I think he did like one or so seasons of Doctor Who. Think he was Doctor Who at one point.
Okay.
I believe so.
Yeah, I missed the whole conversation with the, I guess it's the prison warden or whatever. I saw them talk to him for like 2 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Addicted to morphine? Really?
Yep. That's how we should be after watching the movie. All the pain going through. We
Just
should be
start
addicted
shooting
to
up.
it too. Right on stream. I would get the views.
I bet it would.
What happened? They started shooting up because they're watching. What were they watching? Alien 3. Look at the thumbnail. It was that bad? Yes, it was.
By the way, that's so funny what you did to the thumbnail.
Oh, yeah. I had to change it a little bit, put my own touch, but Mark did most of the thumbnail. Thanks go out to him. I just had to do a little bit of touch.
That's
I figured
fine.
I'd just do it like a. Mark is very clean cut, sophisticated. I'm more of the raw. So I just like very messy, put sucks on it with some X's.
Yeah, when I was making the thumbnail, I'm like, after it was done, I said, what the fuck? Why did I put fan commentary? I mean, I know in the moment why I did it, but then I thought, I'm like, I'm not really a fan of it. And then I saw yours and I'm like, oh, well, that makes sense. Like I should have done something like that, but I didn't think of it.
No problem. Yeah, the mayor. That's what I was thinking of. He was Doctor in the American TV film of Doctor. Yeah, that's what I was thinking of. Is the alien wants a kiss? Well, he's in prison, so he's learning from the prisoners.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, you pay or you punk. I always found it funny that in the trailers they would always have this scene, and then the narrator would say, "The bitch is back," and though it was always the question, "Which is the bitch?" Which bitch? The bitch is back.
What do you think about
like,
this shot? Just curious.
It's a neat shot, but at the same time, the only reason it occurs is because she's impregnated. So it is a cool shot, but just knowing the reason for that was going to lead to her death. Kind of.
That's one of the shots that Fincher fought for. Then the studio said, no, we don't like it. Don't do it. And he said, fuck the studio. And Sigourney was like, yeah, I agree. Let's shoot it. And so they went, he took the camera and like they shot it. And now it's one of the most memorable shots in the movie. So once again, the studio didn't know what the fuck they were talking about. Didn't want him to do something that actually looked cool.
I mean, it might look cool, but it just didn't save the film for me. Not in the slightest. So you can have a couple. I seen like the film. Yeah, there's a couple shots that look cool. I mentioned it had a great score. Some of the acting by Sigourney Weaver and Charles Dunn's not bad acting. But just again, the script, the pacing, the whole setup premise, how it completely shits on the previous film, which is one of my personal favorite films. Can't overcome that. It's just impossible.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just not that exciting. It's not scary. You don't care about most of these characters.
Yeah.
You can't even tell them apart. They're all bald, cockneyed, accented assholes.
Yeah, and like, oh yeah, he's standing right under a hole in the ceiling. I wonder what's gonna happen. Like,
Richard 86, I disagree. There is no story here. Unless you want to talk about like ripping off the first Alien. So I disagree with that. It's, in my opinion, it's a terrible movie with shit characters. And there's not much of a story. There's a bunch of asshole prisoners. They get killed one by one. And again and again and again. Until they kill the alien and then everybody else dies. Except that one asshole.
yeah, I mean,
to me,
there's
not much of a story.
Yeah, I mean, there's like a shoestring thin like plot outline, and that's pretty much it. There's not really a story here. Alien on planet. That's it. Like on a prisoner planet. That's literally it. There's nothing there. What can you really get behind? And I'm not picking on you. I'm curious though. You might. I don't know if you mean that this is no. I mean, Richard. Like, if you think this is better, that's cool. You like what you like, but tell me why. Like, I'm just curious. What makes this better than Aliens? And not necessarily.
He says it's the best. So he says it's better than Alien. He says it's the best. I told you, Mark. You didn't believe me. I said that, and you.
I gotta hear
me
why though. Like, I mean,
it's his opinion. I mean, yeah. I mean, I would love to hear it, but
I don't come across people that like this that much very often. So I just want to hear what his take is as to why. And, Richard, I'm not picking on you, dude. I'm really not. I want to know. I'm just curious.
I'm just laughing because I remember I said that there are people who feel that way. I think you kind of like, no, there isn't. Like, I don't think you believe me 100%. Maybe you did, man. It's like you're laughing about it.
It's just that's so surprising. That's very, very surprising to actually.
I 110% disagree. Absolutely disagree. Okay, now Richard, you're being a troll now. Like, if you have actual legitimate reasons, I'd love to hear it. But if you just don't be a troll, that you can't take you seriously, man. Like Mark's asking, like, what are some legitimate reasons?
Yeah, just give me 3.
Yeah,
give me 3.
Now.
You don't got a list like
I think he's trolling.
15,
I think
20.
He's trolling.
Oh, like overall, you think
trolling.
he is? Okay.
When you say Ripley's bald head is better than the rest of the franchise,
I see the comment.
Yeah, so whatever. Now here is this plan to. That's it. Even the backgrounds, like you look at the backgrounds, it's just walls and tunnels and very blasé when you compare it to the set designs in the previous films. I mean, what is so great about these environments that they're in?
Yeah, I mean, visually, it's not necessarily like captivating, but I think they did do a good job of like making it convincing for a prison setting.
Right.
But beyond that, there's not much else there.
So I mean, it's not even that. Like that's what I mean. It's not aesthetically a visually pleasing movie. I'd go with Sigourney Galaxy Quest, Silver Wings.
Yeah, she wasn't bad as a blonde.
Yeah, Leadworth's reused as a prison. Yeah, yeah, I know, because that's how the finale comes about. Which I mean, in that I know they didn't do it on purpose, but that would just remind you of Terminator 2, which this got
Mhm.
delayed, so it came out after. But then it just reminds you of the ending of Terminator 2.
When they were in production, they found out about the scene at the end where
Yeah,
somebody's like killed in lead. That's what they had heard when they were making it. And they were like, "Oh man, like that's part of our ending." So it's not something they could help. So I'm sure that's what the studio wanted to see. They were in love with the lead idea.
yeah, her being bald just makes her seem like a lesbian Sinead O'Connor. Well, maybe Sinead O'Connor is a lesbian, so maybe it's an oxymoron, but I don't know her preference. But just looks like a butch lesbian that would be, I don't know, get mad about Trump or something nowadays. I did, yelling, screaming.
Well, they're all working together. We got to work together.
Yep. All these people we don't know and don't give a fuck about. They're working together. Thank God. I might almost give a shit about some of them. Actually, no. Can you name one of these prisoners' names? That's not Charles Dutton.
Uh, you mean like their actual name or like the character name?
Character name.
Uh, Ripley. That's about it. That's all I got. If you say so, Predminator, I believe you. Oh man, what was Charles Dance's name in this? Do you know?
I don't remember.
It was Jonathan.
Was it?
Yeah, Doctor Jonathan.
Oh, the one guy that's like, buh. There you go. Buh. The buh. Brah. I remember when they had the trailers, like they try to make it exciting, so they use the music from Aliens, and most of this scene was like, "It's look how explosive of a movie this is." So they show like a good chunk of this. It's like Aliens, guys. I swear. We got the James Horner music. We got explosions. I swear to God, folks.
Yeah, it's like most of the names are so non-existent. It's like they have names. I had to look it up real quick. They all have names.
Well, of course they all have names, but yeah.
At this point, they could have been prisoner number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Like Brian, Walter,
Sure.
Harold, Francis, Robert, Thomas, Frank. Like, we don't hear any of those names. Like, you hear like 3 maybe names, and that's about it.
Fred, I'll agree with the music. I'll agree with maybe 2 of the actors. But the rest, and the writing, and the pacing, and the lack of tension, the lack of excitement, the lack of scares, and what it does to aliens. To me, it is a bad film. It's a horrible sequel, but to me, it's not that good of a standalone film anyway. It's too fucking boring. We're an hour in, and barely anything has happened. A couple people you don't give a fuck killed. An explosion killed a bunch of people you don't give a fuck about. Wasn't a bad explosion, to be fair, done practically. I agree. The shot of the flare going in slow-mo was a decent shot. There are decent shots, but it's like, if you don't care about the story and you don't care about the characters and you don't care about the setup, then it doesn't really matter. At least to me.
Agreed. Exactly. Silver Wings. That poster. I saw that on the poster and I'm like, what? Who are you trying to convince? Give me a break.
Richard 86, I've done that, and the only thing I'd be hooked to is life support from the fucking heart attack I would have watching this piece of shit. Or hooked on morphine or methadone from having to deal with this piece of shit. Well, I say it's fine if you like the film. I'm being sincerely, Richard 86. We just agree to disagree. It's fine. I don't think the alien is scary in this. The practical effects are good, I'll give you that, but I don't think it's scary. I mean, if I want a scary alien, I would watch the first one that has, I think, better lighting, more tension-fueled lighting. And after the first film, I don't think you can make the creature scary again because people are used to it. It just happens with all villains. It's almost impossible to keep them consistently scary. Because now you're used to it.
Right. Unless you were to continually like limit the amount of screen time to a degree, you could probably shoot it a little differently. Maybe some lighting differences, but there's very little you could do after the fact to make it as scary or scarier than the original. Richard, I mean, you know what? I'll do that. I'll hook up these headphones. I'm gonna watch the special edition just for you. I'm gonna torture myself. I'm gonna do it, and I'm gonna come back.
Do you already
just
know?
So I can agree, just so I can disagree. I won't be hooked for life. I know I won't be. I have a 100-inch screen. I'm gonna do it, and I just know it's not gonna matter. It doesn't matter what size screen it's on. I'm on the
Premiere. I'd
theatrical
rather
cut
watch.
right now. Sorry. I'm on the theatrical cut right now. The screen I'm watching it on is 77 inches. That doesn't help anything. True, I'm not listening to it. And I just got subtitles on, but only because of the stream. Oh, well, see if I need all that. Is it really a good movie? Like, I gotta have some weed too. I don't know. Sorry, go ahead. You were gonna say something.
No, I was just answering Premiere. Yes, I would rather watch AVP than this. And that's not a good movie either.
Mm-hmm.
But I would rather watch AVP than this. Even though that's a dog shit movie too. That's one we haven't done, right?
Yeah, we haven't done AVP yet. It'll probably happen at some point in the future. Yeah, I
Well,
don't
yes,
know.
if I'm being fair. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, go. I was just talking
I
about
was going to
AVP.
ask, yes, I do think I agree, Fred. There are good aspects to the film. But it shows that even with those good aspects, the core is rotten. It's like you have an apple. The outside might be shiny and nothing rotten, and it looks pristine and new, that apple, green apple, red apple. But
Mm-hmm.
then in the core, it's so damn rotten. The pacing, the script, all the stuff I said before, that it doesn't matter. There's a couple of cool shots. There's a great score. Some of the acting, the main leads are good, but so many of the characters are interchangeable that you don't give a flying fuck about, that die and you don't give a sweat off your balls about. And like the pace, and it's like, again, we're an hour and 14 minutes in. If I'm being fair and not trying to be over the top, hits a new die, she slept with someone, a bunch of people we don't know died, there's an explosion, and Charles Dance dies. I don't think I missed anything. And Charles Dance, he leaves the film too quickly. All we know is the morphine thing, that he took too much and he killed a patient, so he's there. Still don't know why she sleeps with him after 5 minutes. That's a
The
bit
morphine.
strange. Yeah, the morphine made her do it. Oh yeah,
He shot her up and he was like,
she's
all
a
right,
slut.
we're gonna fuck now.
She's a slut. But yeah, to me that's not appealing. Even especially even like the amount of different creature feature films I've seen: Death Machine, The Relic, Deep Rising. Even low budget films like Watchers too. Like I've seen so many other monster movies. Stephen King's Graveyard Shift, that I just get a lot more merit and worth out of.
Yeah. Do you know why the prisoners are bald with shaved? They got shaved heads. Do you know why?
Is it like the lice? Wasn't like a big lice problem, so that's why the heads are shaved.
Right. And then the
And
barcode is from. Do you know why that's there?
I would assume some way to keep tabs on them
I
somehow.
ID them. Yeah. Which
Idea that
apparently
maybe.
those were some of the only original ideas from the first draft like, that they kept. And shaved the heads and put the
Oh,
barcodes on them.
oh,
Skinheads in
great.
space.
Great. Where's Edward Norton? For some folks in the chat, I disagree with AVP. I think I agree with Kaiju is stupid as fuck. AVP, as a friend of mine called it, assholes versus penises. Awful fucking film. Unless you love characters that find Coke bottle caps in the desert. And predators that look like fat asses. And CGI queens. And oh yeah, it's PG-13. And even the unrated cut wasn't that violent anyway.
No,
either.
yeah, there's like some extra blood here and there and stuff like that, but
Not
like
much.
it's not much, and it doesn't really make it any better.
And it's not that it's not extremely bloody because it's just that there's no tension, there's no intensity in that movie. No intensity.
Yeah, that's sort of like the popcorn movie version of an Alien and Predator movie to me. Like it's very much for a wide audience, like to be very accessible to everybody. And I don't want to see Predator teaming up with some chick as if he needs help. Come on. That's fucking stupid.
Well, because they did that in the comic books. So the references the comic books when.
Well, that's the thing, though.
Up.
It's not based off the comic, though.
I know, but I mean, that's the reference, though.
Still, just because you do it in the book doesn't mean you have to do it in the movie. Some stuff doesn't translate well to screen, I'll say, and that definitely doesn't. Well, here's your scene of tension.
How close would you have to be to not notice that's the pipe? But look at it. Look how brightly lit that is. You don't even need a flashlight, and you see that pipe connected to everything else.
Yeah.
Like, it's so brightly lit, you could turn off the flashlight and nothing would change, and you couldn't see that was a pipe.
Mm-hmm.
Idea is like, well, in the first film, no, this is different.
He was right there the whole time. Yeah, she didn't see him walking in.
Yeah, she does the. Maybe she's not. She wasn't so busy fucking doctors. She would get her eyes checked. Maybe she needs his glasses. Give me your glasses. Yeah, it's supposed to be a dark scene, but you see the whole fucking thing. This room's darker than that room was.
Yeah.
And I don't need a flashlight here. Shit. Yeah, they need to kill the franchise. And they succeeded.
That they did.
And granted, yeah, they made more movies, but people don't look as prominent. You don't look forward to them anymore. I'll speak for myself. I don't look forward to them anymore. Haven't for a long time. You say I hate everything. I'm being too picky. I'm being too negative. But it seems like more often than not, I'm proven right. Or at least in my own views and my own point of view, my own taste. Yeah, it got resurrected, and which that movie bombed. It got resurrected and it got aborted.
That's a good question. Do you think Prometheus and Covenant are worse than this?
I'll always say this is the worst to me because it has the most rotten core to me. And what's even more upsetting, because there are good things about it, and that's why it's sad it's wasted on such a rotten core. It's one thing if the entire movie was shit and nothing could save it. You just see that there's some good things And even then, it's all gone to waste. Like I said, the musical score, some of the decent shots, gone to waste on such a rotten core of a movie, of an idea, of a script, of supporting characters, that it's just what a waste. Not this is a total piece of shit, which I mean, part of me does say it is, but it's just a complete waste. What a waste.
Yeah.
What a waste. Don't have it be Ripley. You could have Charles Dunn's character in there. You, like, tweak the script. So much other stuff.
What's your thoughts on them using Lance Henriksen toward the end as Weland, like having him come in? Was that would you say that's another
Well, is
wasted
he
thing?
Wayland at the end? Like, do they say his name is Wayland at the end? I know he's Wayland in AVP, but do they say his name is Wayland? They just say he's, Bishop looks like him, but do they call him Wayland at the end of this?
I don't know if they call him that. That's a good question. I don't remember if they
Because I
say
thought
that.
they call him in AVP, but I don't remember them calling him that name in this.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I know the
I mean,
character is credited as
yeah,
Bishop, but I don't
yeah.
know if they say that.
The assumption was that his real name was Bishop, so when it was made in his honor, then he just called them all bishops.
Mm-hmm.
But as for Lance at the end, I mean, I don't know. Did it really add anything to it
That's what
at
I
the end
mean.
of the
Like it.
day?
Wouldn't you say that was more of another thing where it's a wasted opportunity?
Yeah, I would say that. Yeah,
Because that's the thing.
and they
Like,
expanded Michael Bishop. Someone said they expanded universe. He's named as Michael Bishop.
yeah, Michael Bishop Wayland. That's right. Um, but that's the thing. Even with this story, like, it wouldn't have mattered if he was in it one way or the other. I guess it was a character introduction of sorts, but I don't know, man. Too much about this movie. Like, it just all this time that we've been talking, I'd say for like the last half hour, they're trying to locate the alien. They're coming up with very fucking lame plans that I don't really care about to try and capture it and kill it. I know that that's what they want us to be into when we're watching it, but it just doesn't work. I have no interest. Like, I don't care who lives or dies. I might like Ripley or maybe even Charles Sutton's character, but at this point, like, who cares who dies? It doesn't really matter. They sucked so much life out of the whole thing. Like, it's just like a bunch of people moving around. That's all it feels like. Characters moving around. I get they have a common goal. Was that really a plot?
I mean, I agree. The music here is great. I think Charles Dunn gives a really solid speech.
Like he does in every movie.
True, but I mean, he's good at it. If you don't get him, you
He
better use
is.
it. But
Yeah.
oh,
He does that in
going down your knees or your feet begging. Ain't
I
much for begging.
I see
So I say,
you
fuck that thing.
with Stallone.
Yeah.
Remember that one?
Yeah, I enjoy this. So, I mean, like I said, there are good things just wasted on a rotten core. That's even more infuriating. Like the mentality of the core makes me go, this is a total piece of shit because of his rotten core. And Richard, I don't think this has an atmosphere like you keep saying. I don't see the atmosphere thing. Like this lighting where everything is lit too bright for supposed to be this prison and tunnels. I don't think there's atmosphere here. I really do not. The first film, I agree. I would say there's easily more atmosphere in the second film. the scene when all the red light and it's building up and they're getting closer and they don't know where it's coming from. That with the red lighting has more atmosphere than anything I've seen so far in this movie, where it's all this warm orange yellow glow, like a warmth color, if that makes sense. To me, that doesn't spell atmosphere. So I don't get the atmosphere argument. I'm sorry, I don't.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't see this in the theater, thankfully. Saw it on home video, and that's when it pissed me off.
Do you what do you think of David Toy's like contribution, his script?
Who?
The writer who he's probably most well known for the Riddick movies. He also worked on
Oh, okay.
the
For
Fugitive,
some reason,
The
my
Arrival.
brain thought you said David Bowie.
No,
Okay,
no, no.
David Toohey.
Yeah.
I don't know why I'm. Hi there, Nippy. Sorry about that. I missed you. I don't know why my brain thought you said David Bowie. I'm like, David Bowie. Did he do a song for this? I don't know about, but David Toohey. I don't
Yeah.
remember that script.
Okay. I mean, you're familiar with his work, though, right?
Yeah, I like The Arrival. I believe he did that. The first
Mm-hmm.
Pitch Black. I like that.
Mm-hmm. The Fugitive
And
as well.
oh, he wrote that.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah,
I'm
I
pretty
like it.
sure
I
it
don't
was
know what his script was.
him and somebody else, I think. But yeah, I mean, his whole thing was like the fall of like communism, Cold War analogies, turn the planet into the prison planet. I think he was probably one of the ones pushing for the prison planet idea, but there was also supposed to be this other stuff going on where it was like uh the prison within the planet was going to be used for like illegal experiments on the aliens for a biological warfare division, simply for weaponry, not necessarily like to study or do scientific research on, which was another idea. But he was trying to go more towards the weapon idea. Would that have, you think that would have made a difference had they stuck toward that? I think make doing stuff with weapons could have been interesting, but I don't it's just hard to see it just because of the way the characters are in
Yeah,
this, because like
I
you
don't
think
know.
about like the whole prison thing still, like would these characters still have been in it? I mean, I don't know.
But Nippy, home video. It had to have been probably 94 because this came out in 92. It would have
Mhm.
taken a while back then to get on VHS. Was it November 92? It was something like that. It came out in 92. So it would have taken a while. It was late into 93 for it to come on VHS. So it was probably maybe 94. And I don't remember the first time I saw it, but
Hmm.
May 92. Okay, it was in May. I don't know why I thought it was November. But yeah, it had to have been about 94, give or take. Because I know I saw it early in life. I can't remember the exact date. Austin, the theatrical cut. See, this whole thing, it's like, okay, the camera work is kind of cool, but it's all for naught because I can't tell you what the fuck the location, the geography, where they're at, where they're going,
Mhm.
who these like, why I should care about these characters. I recognize that actor, but it's like they're going somewhere in some corridor to some door. I don't know how it connects. It's like a fucking maze or something where everything looks the same. Looks like the same corridor they shoot over and over again.
Right.
It
Yeah.
must have been the same fucking corridor. And
Yeah.
I'm like, where? Yeah,
I was gonna say like that's what I was talking about earlier. Like they want all this to be like this big climax, and there's supposed to be a ton of tension and stuff like that, but it doesn't resonate. I mean, maybe script wise they were hoping it would, but it really does not. Um, I mean, I lost interest in anything that they were trying to do like 30 minutes ago when it came like their first failed attempt. Like I wasn't really even that into that. It was like, okay, whatever.
Well, Seven Wings, I disagree because I got a good idea of the Nostromo in the first Alien, especially the wide shots where you see Ripley, you see her journey to get to Parker, and then you see like her going back to get to the drop ship and these wide shots, and we're following a singular character, so it's more easy to understand instead of following like this and this and this and this and this person, and each background didn't look like the exact same. And Aliens, at least there's a variety. Like you got the elevator, and then you got through these corridors to get to the nest, and you see how big the nest is, and you see them running through to get to the elevator. Well, I have more of a handle of the geography than I do in this. And it looks like there's bugs going across the screen or whatever the fuck in the outside shot. The wind particles. Look like shit. Dog shit. So I got more of a handle of the geography in the first two compared to this one. And maybe because you're not like even it made at least as with the characters grouped in one setting. So okay, they're in this room with the red light. Then they go into the air ducts. Then we follow them. They get dropped off, and then that's where New falls down. Like I'm able to follow this journey where it's like, are they on the left? Are they on the right side? And like going all around, and somehow they get back out here. And like I say, it could have been shot in the same fucking corridor. You would never have guessed it. You would never know. To me, that's not exciting, especially for characters I don't give a flying fuck about. I know I keep repeating that, but it's who's that guy who died? That was the one guy with the one thing. Can you tell me anything about that guy who died?
No.
Right there.
No.
Who was that guy who died?
I don't know. I mean, dude, like you mentioned earlier, it just there's no individuality to any of these guys. The only thing I know about Charles Dance's character that he's apparently a doctor and he likes morphine and banging Ripley. That's about the most you get out of any character in the movie. That's literally it. And that's one character. What do you know about any of these other people?
Even like personality wise, or even like little moments. And Fred, no, I've seen nothing canon about why there are A's on the Sulaco. You can only think of fan theories. I've seen nothing canon. And I remember when Mike was in here, he mentioned Alan Dean Foster. I think it was Alan Dean Foster. Like there's a story I remember about him not liking, or either not liking or not wanting to write the novelization of this because he thought it was a bad idea. God, I wish I could remember it because he wrote the novelizations of. I think he did do Alien 3, but I remember he wasn't big on this.
I don't blame him.
Oh, here, I don't know if this is true.
What? Well, real quick, what's your
go ahead.
What's your take on Sigourney Weaver's opinion that she didn't like the fact that in Aliens there was too many aliens? She said there's a bunch of guys running around in suits, and she always
They're
thought
all in
this,
suits.
but there was too many. She said this is just a better idea because it's just one.
So it's just like the first one.
Not to her, apparently.
And there's nothing scary in this. Especially when it's lit so bright, you see every fucking thing. Again, my room is darker than this movie.
Yeah. That's one thing that's they all
Yeah.
talk about in the like once the film is finished. They all say like, yeah, we like the movie and this, this is good and this works so well. And I'm like, where? I have to think that maybe they're a little biased because they're in the movie in a way and they just didn't want to shit on it or something. Even though I have seen actors shit on movies that they're in. But like,
Yeah.
you can't really think this movie's good, man. Come on.
Yeah, there are people that do. Teach their own. Oh, this is Alan Dean Foster. He wrote the novelizations. He says, I didn't do Alien 4 because they wouldn't leave me alone. I had done the first two. I did the third one. I thought the third script was too dark. I thought that killing the little girl takes away Ripley's motivation for living too. So I fixed a lot of stuff. I did motivations of histories for all those convicts. But Walter Hill talked to me and he said, take all that out, write the original script. It'd be a much better book. Instead of writing a letter saying that I did the first two and James Cameron was happy with that, I threw all the original stuff I did out and just did what he told me to. That's why I didn't do Alien Resurrection. I didn't want to go through that all over again. And usually they leave me alone. And I don't think he did like a novelization for like 10, 12 years after Alien 3. Because he did a lot of novelizations back then, but after that, it's like, because I don't blame him. Yeah, Sigourney Weaver did Alien Resurrection. They had multiple aliens. That's true. So I guess she was fine with that.
Yeah, she's okay with that. It's probably a bigger paycheck.
It's like,
that's what it was.
just like I don't want to shoot guns, but she shoots guns at the end of Cabin in the Woods and Cold Light of Day with Bruce Willis and the end of that movie Paul and about 4 other movies you can mention after this. But she doesn't like guns.
No. Guns are bad.
And why would we give a fuck about this guy who's like the worst guy and he's the only one that lives?
They
Like the
want you to
worst
care.
guy and he's the one that lives. Why would I care?
Because he makes it to the end. You always care about the person that makes it to the end, right?
Sure. And we didn't even mention those really shitty looking rod puppets that you saw from time to time, which I kept thinking was CGA, but it wasn't. It was like those rod puppets that looked awful. Practical, like, suit, sure. The rod puppet looked really fucking awkward.
But then they use the blue screen as well. So that they can pull out the rods in post. And put it wherever
Richard,
they want it.
Sorry. I was saying, Richard, if you need to read a book to make a movie better, then it's not a good movie.
But I mean, he wanted so many things with the creature, like running on the ceiling, running on the wall. And I don't find myself agreeing with critics very often, but I think that was Roger Ebert who said it makes no sense because the creature can clearly outrun, outjump every character in the movie. So why isn't the movie over like right away? Because they're being chased, but you can see clearly that it moves. It's got better reflexes. It's way more agile. It can run on the fucking walls and ceiling, but somehow they're still outrunning it. Oh, yes. And now the creature's dead. The lead, it's been melted in the lead. It's all over.
Yep, the worst guy lives subverting expectations, which people say that all the time to, when have I heard subverting expectations? Oh, Star Wars The Last Jedi, another piece of shit. It subverted expectations, and look how helped kill Star Wars. Congratulations.
Oh no.
Uh,
It's
Thank you,
back.
Bobby. I appreciate it, man. If I did a Let's Play in reverse, if you beat the game and then you rage quit, uh, I probably have done that. I probably beat the game and then I'm like, fuck this. And I still rage quit. I would never play it again. That was Daymare 1998. That was that one. So I did that already. It's called Daymare 1998. Portray says they didn't have the best intro. Aliens, I think, did, with the way the titles come about and the great James Horner music. Predminator, let's see who. I guess I would pick this one. Yeah, good music. Again, I'll give credit to Elliot Golenthal, who I think did Demolition Man after this, and mentioned that before. Deserves a better. You know what? I've seen people do fan movies of Alien Isolation where they take the game and they make it into a movie. And they use score from this movie, and it works so well in that. They made Alien Isolation to a movie, and I'm like, there you go. Finn, a better movie. And
Yeah.
Alien Isolation, which I liked. I like Alien Isolation quite a bit. That was much better than this.
Yeah. I mean, I would have much rather had the Scott Cameron duo for 3 and 4, but that never came to fruition. I mean, that was where. So initially, I know Fox had approached Cameron for the sequel. Now, at first, he said he wasn't going to do another one. He was like, "I'm done." During like the press thing, he's like, "No, I want to do other stuff." But they approached him and saying like, "Hey, um, would you be interested? Would you be open to doing this and that?" And like, you got freedom. You could take it pretty much where, obviously, after the second film, they'll let him do whatever. So yeah, it's a lot of freedom. So his idea was to have Ripley, Newt, Hicks function as the family, which I mentioned earlier, and Bishop was also going to be in the film as well, or Lance Henriksen. And he was going to have a whole storyline where um, Bishop had suspected that he had been tampered with later on to make him more dangerous, and he was going to follow something with that, and then have the whole Weland thing be a bigger part of the third film. But his idea was that he said if they could get Ridley Scott to come back in for Alien 3 so that he can go off and do something else, that he would come back for Alien 4. But Ridley Scott didn't want to commit to Alien 3. And then, by the time they wanted to start production and all that, everything just moved forward and it all just fell apart. So he was going to do the fourth movie at least, and he had like his whole outline of what he wanted to happen for 3. But timing wise, but see, that's the thing. Like Ridley Scott didn't want to do 3, but he did Covenant. Like, I don't get it, man. Like, you can come back in.
Hey, you get older. You need more paychecks now because they're not knocking on your door as often.
Guess so. You think
He needs
have
that
enough?
retirement fund.
He's got enough money by now.
I don't know. I see what some of these guys do. You have to wonder.
All too much indulging in hookers and coke, or what?
Like, why is Arnold being in films like Killing Gunther? For those remember that movie.
I see him talk about stuff these days, movie wise and TV shows or whatever. It's like he really believes this stuff is good. I don't think it's all just like PR moves.
Who?
Arnold.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Like he genuinely believes that the stuff he's doing is like really, really good.
Yes, I mean, I don't like Resurrection, but I would rather watch that than this.
Yes, Richard, I do like Resurrection more. That's not saying much, but as I stated earlier, I got, at least in that, there's people I could get behind as actors. And I like the idea of them, like a space crew, if you will, just going around and selling humans as cargo, and then what they do it for in that movie makes sense as to why we get uh, a plot with where we have a bunch of Xenos running around.
Yeah.
Uh, there's the queen. She's birthing.
Mm-hmm. And she just disappears.
Yeah.
Great composite. Just fades away.
That's right.
She got so much STD from Charles Dance, it burnt up the facility and they stopped blowing the hot air. She fell right into it, just made everything diseased. They just had to shut down the whole damn airport. Shut down the whole, like Dennis Franz and Dyer too. Shut down the whole fucking airport. Great, the dickhead survived. Yay.
Yeah.
God, thank God the guy I wanted to die. Thank you, movie. Thank you for subverting my expectations so wonderfully.
Yeah, wasn't he one of the guys that was going to help rape her earlier?
I don't remember that, but
Was he? I can't remember if he was one of the guys holding her leg while the guy put the goggles on.
that would be hilarious. She gave the thumbs up as she went in, like Arnold. Yeah,
That would have been.
but
What a bleak fucking ending. Like they all just die and that's the end. Okay.
yep, it's brave,
It is. It's epic is what it is.
epically shitty. It's part of Sigourney Weaver's fault because she said yes to this. She had the power because the original script she survived, and she wanted to die. And one of the reasons she wanted to do it is because at that time they were thinking of doing Alien versus Predator. She hated that idea. So I guess somehow her dying would, I don't know, somehow end the franchise and thus they'll never do any more. Shows how much she knew because she came back for another one just 5 years later or so.
Mm-hmm.
So great plan, lady. Yeah, here's all the prisoners they've now. Remember them now.
Yeah, I got them all down.
I ain't gonna remember shit because I don't care. I mean, like you mentioned long ago, the Fox thing. They fucked up Die Hard with Die Hard 5. They fucked up Predator with. I wasn't big on Predators. The Predator. That was the last hurrah.
Mm-hmm.
This and Resurrection and AVP and Speed 2 Cruise Control. Jesus.
Just kept digging that hole deeper. Digging their grave.
Which is better, this or Blade 3? Jesus.
I'll watch Blade 3 over this. I'm not going to lie. I don't like Blade 3. I'm not a fan. But,
I agree.
I could still get through that over this.
I agree. I could maybe laugh at one or two Ryan Reynolds jokes, and it's an interesting watch when you know the backstory.
Yeah. Yeah.
And yeah, but it's a very lousy movie.
Yeah. I mean, I used to be such a big fan of Goyer, at least back in the day. Because like I thought he did a good job with the script of the first one and a few other things, but slowly but surely he showed that like he didn't have the juice anymore, so to speak. Like as his career
Yeah,
went more and more, he just I didn't like his stuff.
David Goyer surgically put his head up his ass, where's where it belongs.
Yeah,
That guy's a fucking idiot.
I won't disagree. And he
That's the
can't
guy that
fucking
literally.
direct a movie for shit. Every fucking thing he's directed is terrible. Not one good fucking movie.
They directed, no, I mean, I agree with you. The Invisible, whatever that Possession movie was or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
Blight Trinity. And yeah, he's the guy that's like thought She-Hulk was made to fuck the Hulk, even though they're cousins.
He also
That's
did
how much he knew about comics.
that other shitty horror movie, The Unborn.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of.
Yeah, just
And then he also said, "Who here has heard of Martian Manhunter? Whoever raise your hands, how many of you been laid?" By the way, he went on to write Batman v Superman, which had some of the Justice League in it.
mm-hmm.
So the guy
And
that
I
knew comics that well.
and the one thing I always hate, like they'll sell like a movie with his name on it, and it's like, oh, from the writer of The Dark Knight. It's like, no, he did not fucking write The Dark Knight. Stop saying that. Like he
He
wrote
didn't?
this. No, he wrote the story treatment with Christopher Nolan, and Chris Nolan and Jonathan Nolan wrote the screenplay. So every time I see that, it irks the shit out of me. It's just like, stop fucking doing that. You're just lying to people. Like, god damn.
Well, there you go. Thank you, Predminator, for the request. Really appreciate it, man, for your kindness. At least it was fun to watch this with someone, so it made it at least easier to digest.
Yeah, that it did. It was a little bit easier. Oh God, no, Nick, no. Let's. I don't want to think about if Goyer had anything to do with an alien movie. He don't need to touch any more sequels. He wrote Crow City of Angels. Just think about that. Like that's one movie he wrote by himself. And look at that movie.
Oh, yeah.
No more
Almost
sequels.
forgot. Yeah.
I think everybody forgets that movie exists.
I hate too many movies. Yeah, you missed it. We're done. We watched the theatrical cut. And I will probably never see this film ever again.
Is that
I
was
don't,
that
I don't,
your last watch?
I mean, I don't see any reason to do so. I guess, yeah, we got the commentary, so it's not for a commentary. I reviewed the film. I would have no other reason to watch this, so I guess maybe if it gets requested again, yeah, I guess if someone requested assembly cut, I guess that'd be the fucking.
Oh no, God no,
I guess that'd be the only fucking way.
no. You don't want to do that to yourself.
Richard, at least those awful Steven Seagal films I can laugh at. This isn't even funny to me. Fucking, this ain't even funny to me. It's disheartening because I like those first two films so much. It's just disheartening where The higher ups didn't care. They just wanted a product. When your head guy is saying you just throw anything at a wall and people go see an alien film, he was wrong. Sigourney Weaver, she cared about the paycheck. And yes, Dippy, it's out. She didn't care about. She only cared about how much money she got. Kill my theater off. That way, I don't have to do any more films. And that's all she cared about. That's all she cared about. That's it. That's it. And she got paid well. And then they
Very
did the
well.
fourth one. She got paid even more.
Yeah.
Like 20 million. No, was it 12 million? I can't remember how much she
It
got
was
paid.
probably double digit millions, I'm sure.
Yeah. At least like 12 million or so. It was pretty big.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's just what a waste. What a waste. This is one of those films that I remember the first time I saw it, like I was just so shocked at like how not good it was. I couldn't believe it. You know, I was much younger back then, obviously, so I had a lot less of idea of like how the studio system worked and how Hollywood itself worked. And you know, you just see like, oh, here's another movie. Like they made another one. I can distinctly remember like getting like the VHS tape of that. I think my aunt had it, and like I got it from her, and I was like, I gotta watch this. Yeah, I want you know how like you're just waiting the whole time for it to get good. You want it to be good, and it just that moment just never comes. Nothing's changed. I mean, over the years, I've wanted to like the movie, but if you have to have that feeling, then it's probably not a good movie. You shouldn't have to force yourself to like it or watch it or try to get into this and that. Um, just being older, like, you know, you see the technical aspects of it. Maybe you could appreciate shit like that, but beyond that, there's just nothing there.
Yeah, I mean, what I'll say about the film, in all seriousness, while it does have good things, like some pretty decent acting from your two leads, some good shots, excellent musical score, nice practical creature, is all
Mm-hmm.
wasted on a rotten core of a script. Writing, I don't think was that great. For the 80% of the cast, forgettable, mix them up, they all look the same, interchangeable, in a very slow paced, boring movie where people get killed off that I don't care about and I don't give a rat's ass about. With not much action because they weren't going that route. And that's the thing. It's not tension fueled or scary like Alien. It's not exciting or action packed as Aliens. The characters to this point are the weakest of the three. So what else do you have? You want
Mm-hmm.
action, you watch Aliens. You want scares, you watch Alien. This, other than depression, that's all you get.
Well, I mean,
What
look
else
at,
is there? It's not scary and it's not exciting. So what else is there?
I mean, it's a mess from start to finish. Look at so here's the list of the writers on Alien 3. David Toohey, which we talked about earlier, Vincent Ward, John Fasano, Rennie Harlan,
Vincent
David
Ward by
Fincher. Go ahead.
I want to say Vincent Ward, by the way, is the guy that came up with the Wooden Planet and the Monks, and he's the one that go on to direct What Dreams May Come with Robin Williams. He was originally going to direct this with the Wooden Planet idea, and then he quit or fired, whatever that happened.
Right. So that was 5 people. I stopped at Fincher. Larry Ferguson, David Giller, Walter Hill, Eric Red, Greg Pruse, Rex Pickett. Did I say William Gibson? I don't think
I
so.
can't remember. How many names are there?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
The Dirty
So,
Dozen.
yeah. And I mean, who knows who else added in stuff here and there because they were doing rewrites on set. So it's like there's another movie just like this, Mortal Kombat Annihilation. It's the same thing. 1,000,001 writers, actors writing their scenes, actors coming up with dialogue, doing rewrites on set, constantly changing, no real lead to production, shooting whatever they could just to fill the quota for the day. So they didn't fall behind the schedule, at least in terms of shooting. It's a mess. That's not how you make a film. And I think one of the producers said that they weren't making a movie. When it came to Fox in this movie, they were making a release date. And they set the release date and they didn't want to blow the release date. They were going to hit that target no matter what. And it wouldn't matter what happened. They were going to hit that release date. Their plan was to not push it back. They had all their marketing set up. And I know there was stuff put on hold, but 92 was initially like one of the projected dates that they had. And I remember like the early stuff that they had for it. And this was all in like the documentary or whatever. Like they had marketing that didn't even match what the movie ended up being. So that just goes to show you where their heads were. It's like I mean, it's not as bad, at least with this example that I'm about to give, but something similar with like Nightmare on Elm Street 5. Like they started shooting with the incomplete script. They didn't really have a script because it wasn't complete. They had pages, they had ideas, some characters. When you do stuff like that and then you go into 10 million reshoots, you change the ending, you change this, you change that. It never, I can't think of any production where that's ever turned out good. Not one. It's
I
not
could
like,
think of one.
go ahead. I'd love to hear it. Which one? Or maybe I just don't know.
I enjoy this film.
Okay.
World War Z.
Didn't know about that. I know nothing about the production of World War Z. So that makes
Well, I don't know if you've
sense.
seen the film.
Yeah. It's God, that was
The
2012 or
the last
2013. It's been a long time.
you remember you remember the scene when Brad Pitt's in the facility and they gotta be all stealthy and quiet in the hospital. That entire bit was a additional photography. It was a completely different ending where his wife was hooked up with another guy because he was forced to because they were kicked off the ship.
Okay.
And then it was him trying to get back to Russia. And you see like a little bit in the victory montage where it's like people in Russia or wherever like pushing back, and I don't forget if it was snowing or something. But it's like Brad Pitt finding out after the plane. I don't know. The plane crash might not have been part of it either. It was somewhere like he found out that his family and his wife were kicked off. She had to shack up with someone else because in order for her kids to survive. He finds out. He goes on a journey, which takes him to like Russia, and there was a certain actor with a Matthew Fox. Someone else had a much bigger part, and it was like him dealing with like all these people and riding against all these zombies. It was like this big like battle back and forth, and they realized it just didn't work because it just wasn't as exciting as the stuff you saw before, and also the stuff with the wife just seemed a bit I don't know, iffy. So it's like, well, let's go. Which I thought was great was let's go a bit quieter. we've had these big bombastic scenes. Now let's have like a quiet, stealthy scene, which I thought worked for the better. But yeah, the last 30 minutes was a completely different ending, and there's a lot of reshooting, additional photography. The whole like third act was changed, and that's the one time I could think of where it looked like it was for the better.
But did they start that with a completed script though? Now, of course, you mentioned they made changes.
They shot it.
Okay. Oh, well, that's
like
what I mean. That's a little different. But still, I get what you're saying.
When the last like 30 minutes of your movie is like just completely gone, you make a completely different third act. That's what I meant by that. Like that's a pretty big change and turmoil for all that to happen.
Yeah, that's a lot. That's surprising. I know where there were like another example would be not to the same degree, nowhere near to the same degree as this, but I'm sure you've seen the making of and probably some of the behind the scenes on Live Free or Die Hard. Like they were changing scenes and adding scenes, and I think even Kevin Smith wrote a scene because like they couldn't figure out how to make a certain thing work, and that was back when he was still, I guess I don't even know what word I should use, competent enough to do stuff like that. So there's definitely some exceptions, but the death nail is always starting a production without a completed script or an incomplete script that has like many problems going in. Like they know that it's problematic, but they're like, oh, we can make it work. We'll fix it during production. No, like your director has to have like clear cut goals. Like the script is the target. The director has to hit it, and that's what matters. Like if you don't have that work, like then you're setting somebody up for failure. And I mean, how could you even put like your actors in a position like that? I mean, they're putting their careers and their livelihood to a degree in the hands of the director, and then you're basically making him start a film with his hands tied behind his back, like, and a blindfold on, and then somebody's in his ear telling him where to go and what to do, but with very limited, ability. It's just fucking crazy.
People would say they're getting paid. That's what people say. Well, they're getting paid at least.
Yeah, I mean, but how much is? I mean, that's not going to be your only paycheck. You got to think about what's going to happen after. Now, I do know some people, like even Michael Bain admitted this in that podcast, the Michael Rosenbaum podcast, that he did that. Like he did movies for money, and it wasn't necessarily that he wanted to, but that's what he had to do. I know he had his stroke and all that stuff, and he had some problems. But man, like you got to look beyond just the paycheck right then, because your next paycheck is definitely going to be contingent upon what you're doing right there and right then in the moment. What you're working on currently does matter for what you have in the future. There are plenty of movies that people do, and they just do it probably because of the paycheck, and the movie turns out to be shit. And look at their career after that. Like, and they might be good actors, but you're putting so much of your faith as an actor in the filmmaker, or hell, even in the studio. Like they're supposed to be fucking professionals, and they're going in and doing shit like this with Alien 3. It's just, I mean, with that much money on the line, like I don't even think Fox could afford to lose that kind of money. I don't think any studio really could, except maybe Disney, since they have like all the fucking money in the world. But some of the that money runs out eventually. It's just, I don't know. You think these guys would be smarter enough to like know better? Like that's just my take.
They think they can wing it. They think that with their egos, they think they can wing it, especially on something with a known name. They think they may not dot all the I's and cross the T's, but that there'll be an audience that will go see it just because it's a new film and with enough razzle dazzle or enough special effects or enough glitter
Yeah.
They'll hide those faults. They'll hide those cracks.
Yeah. Fuck that. They're not getting my money. I'm not going. I'm not going to see that shit. I'll watch their movies for free.
Hey there, David. I mean, I can't even call this horror. It's horrible, but horror means it would be scary. It's bloody, but I don't think this film is scary at all. So it might have been more horror, but Aliens had horror in it as well, with the chest burster and the lady getting the chest burster out and stuff. And the way this film was lit, I definitely didn't have the atmosphere.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, Aliens is like the perfect pot. It's the perfect melting pot. It's like a good stew. It's got all the essential ingredients. It's got all the things you'd want, and it's a mix of genres, not just one. So I do prefer horror. Action is my second favorite genre, but
Hmm.
I mean, still, there are some times where I'm like, this just doesn't work. You could have all the horror tropes in the world, and this movie does have a lot of them. Alien 3 has a ton of them. It's got plenty of gore. Um, it's got a really good score that could be suspenseful and stuff. And I wouldn't say there's anything thrilling. I see the effort, but I don't think it works. So
Mhm.
I probably would have much preferred it to be action, honestly. Because at least with action, you are leaning more into that genre. Just seems to lean more toward entertainment, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, and hell, it you get if you guys remember, like in the beginning, back when movies were first invented, they were meant to be forms of entertainment, not necessarily art. So, even though there can be an artistry to it, and it is an art form in itself, but still, it's meant to be entertainment, and I like that.
Yeah, I agree, Siblings. I mean, nothing's too big to fail. I mean, look what happened to Fox. Huge company got bought out by Disney. The stuff you hear about Paramount. Like every other week, I hear that one day Paramount would get bought by like Sony or someone
Mm-hmm.
or someone else. So, I mean, if Paramount is in that dire straits, that there's talk and rumble, it'll get bought out by Sony one day. Look how big a company Paramount was,
Mm-hmm.
or how Fox was. New Line Cinema, Matrix. I mean, not Lord of the Rings. They released Lord of the Rings, Rush Hour films,
Mm-hmm.
the early Ninja Turtle films, Diamond Street films, of course. New Line Cinema was big. Friday, and then
Mm-hmm.
again, Lord of the Rings. Look how much money they made, and they still went belly up. And was it Warner Brothers? Pretty much has them. I think Warner Brothers.
I mean,
So it's like New Line Cinema got bought by Warner Brothers. Disney bought Fox. Sony may buy Paramount. It'll go up out to like 3 studios.
or Lionsgate, they better be careful. They struck gold with John Wick, and like now they're just running that into the ground. So,
Amazon got MGM, I think.
right, yeah,
That's how
I
they did the
forgot about
Roadhouse
that.
remake, among others. Because Roadhouse was MGM, the original. So I still didn't see the remake.
Let's hope they don't keep going back to that well. Like, just let's leave
So
those properties
it'll,
alone, please.
it'll be like 5 companies: Netflix, Amazon, Disney, Sony, and then whichever fifth one survives. Maybe Warner Brothers. But
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it'll it'll be interesting to see what happens in the coming years. Like, some of these places may not be around. I mean, it's
yeah,
like, wasn't there going to be a merger between Paramount and Warner Brothers at one point?
I believe it.
I think that was a
Hell,
year or two ago. I don't remember exactly.
in our lifetime, we saw New Line and Fox collapse.
Mm-hmm.
in our lifetime. And it wasn't 50 years or 40 years or
Mm-hmm.
whatever. It's in our lifetime. I mean, New Line Cinema, I don't know what year it was, but within at most 20 years, probably less. Same with Fox,
Mm-hmm.
20-year span. Imagine what happens in the next 10 years or 5 years.
Yeah. Well, I'm trying to think. Because, like, Fox was, I know they were doing obviously stuff in the 80s. I don't know when Fox started. I know they were around for a while, but still. No studio's too big to go under, though, which is your point. So, yeah, I agree.
Exactly.
Yeah, you can always hit that bump in the road and then it's just over with. Yeah, Predminator, I have played Alien Isolation. Um, love it. Have it over there on the shelf. It's a very, very fun game. Beetlejuice trailer, Neopunk. I did see that. That's what I
Fuck
think.
that.
It's just like,
Real quick, like,
okay.
1935 was when Fox was created. 80
Okay.
years or so.
Damn. It's a long time.
But yeah, sorry, Neil Punk. I saw some of yours. I missed it. Is this the worst film of all time? I've seen a Serbian film, and that kind of takes the cake for me. Uh, the stuff with the baby, I won't say more because you can't see on YouTube. But
Is that just
come
a
on,
bad
man.
film to you because of the subject matter or just because you think it's a poorly made film?
The subject matter probably first and foremost, because that's all it
Okay.
is. I think just
Shock value.
yeah, two girls, one cup. Just
Turn it to a
consistent.
movie. Okay.
Yeah, here's this shocking bit, here's this shocking bit, here's this shocking bit, here's this shocking bit. The movie's over. I'm like, that's not a movie to me. It's like August Underground Mortem. Like those to me are the two worst films I've seen because I don't think they're films. It's just here's shock, shock, shock. The movie's over.
Mm-hmm.
So thank you, Ian. I appreciate it, man. I'm glad you enjoyed.
Yeah.
Thanks for the
Thanks.
comment. Thank you.
Glad you enjoyed it. Um. So
And I
by
did see the Beetlejuice 2 trailer. That was dog shit.
oh,
I hated that trailer.
you're
No,
not.
just seriously, like, I saw the second trailer and it's like, okay, a lot of references to the old, including
Yeah.
him showing the face, but we don't see the face and
Mm-hmm.
scare someone.
Mm-hmm.
Throwing the thing to make someone's mouth a female mouth, shutter trap.
Mm-hmm.
Like, did the Gina Davis here, does it the Winona Ryder. And Michael Keaton just looks like someone's drunk uncle in it. I don't know about Beetle. He just looks like he looked like someone's drunk uncle that just stayed too long after the party. And that doesn't look appealing to me. Great, here's that drunk uncle again. He had too much bourbon.
Oh man.
That's not
It's
appealing to me. And it's lit like a Netflix or like maybe not as bad as the Munsters, but it looks
mhm.
like it's lit like a Netflix movie or something.
Yeah, I did
I don't,
notice that. I mean, I guess that's got to be a style choice for Burton, but like it did have a very like not cheap feel. It looks I don't know. It's a far cry from his original stuff. I'll say.
almost like a not I don't know if Stranger Things or like that's why I keep saying Netflix like that type of some of those movies
Hmm.
also on Netflix like the way they're lit.
Yeah,
I don't know how else to put it.
it's a made-for-TV movie.
So maybe it does remind me of the Munsters, the light in that movie.
Yeah, they all got the same like lighting crew. That's why they all look like that.
And hey there, Joe. But sorry, I interrupted you. Go ahead. I interrupted you on that.
No, I don't. I'm not gonna go see that, obviously. Just I didn't think anything of it when I saw it. Like it just I was scrolling through Instagram and I stopped on it like because it started playing and I was like, oh yeah, that's right. The trailer was supposed to come out today. I did see like an advertisement for it somewhere. It's probably on YouTube. And it started and it kept going and it kept going and I'm like, all right. I just scrolled to the next thing. Like I had no real reaction to it. It's just another thing happening that's connected to something from the past. It's all too common now, at least for me. Do you think people will get at some point will get tired of those kinds of movies truly to where like they'll just completely bomb? I know some have, but at what point does like those type of films just completely fail at the box office? Like all of them. Like there's a complete turnaround like where people aren't even going to give it a chance. I mean, I guess that's not realistic to say because people will probably always give it a chance, but enough to like secure prints from like a major studio to give it like a wide release on like 3,000 plus screens.
They'll keep making them because if not, they'll just put it on streaming, and even if it's a bad film, people
Mm,
watch it out of curiosity.
yeah.
Like the news
Yeah.
Madam Web was watched by so many people when it went to streaming just because people wanted to see how bad it was. And it's
Okay, that's a
still
good take.
creates
Yeah. Yeah.
monetary gain for them. So if
Mm-hmm.
something has a name, whether it's good or bad, you know what? How bad is this? That does happen a lot. How bad is this movie? You know, people watch, especially streaming. It's a lot easier to take a chance than go out, get in a car, pay whatever price at the ticket counter.
Mm-hmm.
That is a real thing. You know, how bad is it? Now, for me, there are other avenues I watch movies, so I'm not giving them my money if it's that. I'll put it that way.
Mm-hmm.
Sail the high seas because I'm not supporting their shit. I don't have Netflix. I don't have Disney Plus. Fuck that shit. So there are other ways.
Yeah.
But I mean, there are people that's like, I'm gonna watch a man web, not because they need to do a review like me if I requested, but if it's they're just like, well, how bad is this? And they just watch it and
I hate watch it.
yeah, hey, watch it. There you go. So I mean, to answer your question, I don't think it'll ever truly go away. I think maybe more will go more to streaming. I mean, Bear Hills Cop 4 streaming, going to be
That's
on
true. Yeah.
Netflix.
Yeah.
Roadhouse remake. There was a whole hubbub that it went to Amazon instead of a
Mm-hmm.
theater. I'm sure there's more in the pipeline. So even if it bombs in the theater, like the Fall Guy, 13 days later goes VOD, and you'll probably
Mm-hmm.
see more of that cluttering up.
Yeah, I think Michael Bain he called it. He's like, they're not really movies. They're not films. It's not. He's like, it's content. It's just called content now. All the stuff on streaming, it's just content. That's all it is. I gotta agree. You need content for these services, so I guess that'll be the next big thing if it isn't already. So yeah, I mean, I guess my question more so too is like the theater experience 10 years from now. I don't ever want it to die out because like occasionally there are movies comes along and I want to see it in the theater um and have
Mm-hmm.
that experience. I mean, I'm used to it. But
Uh-huh.
I probably go to the theater maybe 2 to 3 times a year. There's something really special comes along, maybe, or maybe something super
Right.
original that catches my eye, and I'm like, okay, I'll give that a shot. But God, I mean, I just can't imagine a world where we don't have the movie theater. I just hope that never happens. If streaming keeps going this way, I think it could happen.
Eventually, yeah. I think maybe I'll get to a point where there'll be a novelty. Like every once in a while, you see like an arcade,
Okay, yeah, yeah.
and then once in a while there's a drive-in theater.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, go away entirely. No, obviously, there's a point there you see more shutting down.
Yeah,
Just like
some closing shop, yeah.
you'll, yeah, you'll hear about certain stores, grocery stores shutting down, or other places. I just see a lot more movie theaters shutting down because if they're not getting the money that they need to get because people don't want to see these movies, how can
How can
how
they
can they
stay
support
afloat
it?
business wise? Yeah. Well, and then like, these damn ticket prices are way too high. You're practically paying enough money to buy the damn movie.
Where's it? Where's it at? Where you're at? How much a ticket?
Let's go because it's been a while. So I'm gonna go right now. I'm gonna look up, let me see movies right now. And it'll give me the closest theater to me. So let's see what we have.
Well, there you go. So it's been a while since you've been to a theater because nothing really intrigued you to go see a movie in a theater. I mean, yeah, there's time
Mhm.
as well, but it didn't sound like there was anything recent that like I need to see this in the theater.
Not really, no.
And that's how a lot of people feel, and that's why box office is down because I'm not going do you am I going to go to theater and see Beetlejuice 2 or Twisters? No.
Hmm.
Maybe I'll make some money, sure. Because people are bored and hey, it's Friday, Saturday night, let's go do something, but I'm not.
Okay, I just clicked anything. Strangers Chapter 1, the new Rennie Harlan masterpiece, is it's $15 essentially.
Mm.
I mean, $12.88 for general admission for one ticket, and then the tax here it would be about 15. Yeah.
That's probably cheaper compared to other people. I'm sure there's a lot more for other people in other parts of the country.
Yeah, I can only imagine. I mean, to me that's still a lot though. I mean, $15. Like
Yeah,
I might as well buy the fucking movie. That's basically what I'm doing. And then,
exactly.
if you go with somebody else, let's say you and your friend go or hell, you go out on a date. That's $30 for two people.
Don't be cheap.
45
On the date.
45 for three people. Like,
Yeah.
you and your I don't know, you got a teenage son or something and your wife go out, three people. It's damn near $50 because I can only imagine the tax. That's like $50.
You have to eat anything?
Fuck no.
No popcorn? Come on, you gotta have
No.
popcorn when you see a movie. You gotta have popcorn. It's tradition.
No.
You
Yeah,
don't
I
eat
mean,
popcorn in the theater?
no. It's like 20 bucks.
Never?
No. No, I mean I have, yeah. Like, honestly, that was never like my thing. I mean, I'd probably eat popcorn maybe once a year, if that. I'm not a big
Oh,
popcorn
okay.
person. Um,
I like
I'll
movie theater popcorn, not at home.
You like all the butter? Just
Yeah, and that's
like
but maybe it's better that way that I don't have as much so I don't have a heart attack. I
I
did a
was
heart
thinking
attack
that.
snack like 10 years ago and I stopped doing that. So I'm like I put the I put the popcorn and then like melt the butter and then I put like cheese on it and I'm like I need to stop doing this so I don't have a heart attack. So for those who've been on my channel like 10, 50 years ago, I like the heart attack snack. There's a reason I don't eat that anymore because I don't want to have a heart attack. So maybe it's for better that I don't have the popcorn, because I haven't had movie theater popcorn in years at this point. So maybe it's
Mhm.
for the better. It does taste good, but just I don't want to taste so good. I'm in a coronary. So
Right. Yeah.
maybe for the better. But it
I'll
does
tell
taste
you
good.
the one thing I do get a lot, I get the icy. Like I gotta stop doing that. I mean, but then I don't go to the movie theater that often. But back when I was young,
Which flavor? What
uh
flavor?
I'd mix it sometimes. Mostly mix it, yeah.
Okay. So like Encino Man.
Yeah. Wheeze the juice.
That was in the juice.
Exactly. Nachos. Nachos. That's what I do. If I
Okay.
go and I eat anything, it'll probably be nachos.
I haven't had nachos in like 20 years. I remember liking them. I just haven't had them in like 20 years.
Yeah. I mean, you could. Well, now they've got the pizza. Um, you get your little.
Pizza? Really?
Yeah, dude. They have all kinds of shit at the theater. Like, there's a theater like
What,
5 minutes
did
from
you
here.
carry the whole damn box of pizza with you and put it in your lap or something?
No, it's like a small like personal pizza. You get like 4 or 5
Oh,
slices off of it. It's not, and they're
okay.
not big slices. Um,
Well, what's the point then? It's a ripoff. You go to
that,
Little Caesar, get a $5.
yeah,
That's the
exactly.
point. I get it. That's the point. That's the point.
Yeah,
That's
somebody in
why
the
just
hold
that's the
on.
point.
Who was that in the chat? Somebody said $12 for popcorn. As a comment moved,
Yeah,
but yeah, $12 for popcorn.
Den's. Don't forget the popcorn, like $12. That was Den's.
Yeah, fuck that. No way. I remember
So even like you said, yeah. So go ahead. No,
we
go
used
ahead.
to. I think I mentioned this on like a stream on Dead Pit when we were on there, and I think I said like I would take my own stuff into the theater because the shit that they would have would be so expensive. And I'm just like, no, I'm not paying for that. I'll just bring my own shit. And then I got a large variety of what I want, not what they have. What were you going to say, though?
Uh, what was I going to say? Oh, the fact that you haven't been to a theater for such a long while, that means even yourself. I mean, granted, it's because of the choice of movies been lacking, but even that could be like a falling a little bit out of love with the theater experience. If it happened to you, then who knows? It could happen to a lot of people. It's only a matter of time. Not
Yeah, I
overnight.
mean, not to
Not
say that I'm
overnight,
like
but
special or anything, but I wouldn't consider myself the casual movie watcher where most people are.
mm,
I think the majority of people are casual movie watchers. I would say probably people in the chat in here aren't really casual watchers. Like we have our stuff that we like, and for the most part, we can all spot a bad film.
you mean movie theater
We-
watchers or
yeah, like casual movie theater
oh,
watchers. We don't
okay?
go out to just see like, oh, there's a new movie coming out, we got to go see it. No.
Right.
But there are some people who just like the theatrical experience and they go see something like every month or every other month. But me, I'm like,
That was me in yeah, that was me in 2003 because I was like
that was an
20-minute
interesting
walk from
year
the
though.
theater.
Like that was
Yeah.
like what was Matrix Reloaded, Terminator 3. I mean, that was, that was an interesting year. There was some cool stuff
Yeah.
coming out. Um
Daredevil, Hulk, Bad Boys 2,
a lot of
a
stuff
lot, a
made
lot
a
of
lot of
stuff. Yeah.
money. Freddy versus Jason was a big hit unexpectedly.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was that was probably one of those years where I still went to the movies a lot. I know in the 90s I went like every weekend. It was always something out. Like every year in the 90s I pretty much went to the movie theater like every weekend. If not every weekend, every other weekend. and it slowed down once I got to the 2000s. But yeah.
Yeah, and that's the other thing some people mention in the chat is that without getting too much into it, the way the economy and the way everything's going up in price, there are sacrifices you make, and for a lot of people, it's the theater, and that's not going to help the theaters either. Even if you lower the price, it's still the journey up there, gas. You mentioned the food. Of course, you don't have to get food, but it's like people go. A lot of people want an experience with it, so that means they would want to have food with it. But then it's like, thank you, Richard. I appreciate it, man. So yeah, I mean that doesn't help either. But
appreciate the kind words, Richard. I think there's. I mean,
well, sure. It's not sacrifice of the movie suck. That's true. So.
Oh well, I mean, shit. Yeah, like that. That plays a big part. It's. I mean, you also have to think that like they'd have to be inflating prices of tickets just because people are going to the movies less. I mean, everything's going up in price, but it seemed like movie tickets were probably the first thing to do that. One of the first things, anyway. I noticed that a while ago that, like, once they got to like $10, I'm like, hold on, like $10. What's going on here? That something doesn't look right. And then, God forbid, you go see a 3D movie or see something in IMAX or I mean, around here, like I was just looking at like the tickets. So there's EMX, there's IMAX, there's 4DX, you got 3D, of course, standard 2D. And there's one more
They still have 3D.
Ultra screen, super screen, and hold on, there's one more on here. I have to go back to
the fuck is ultra screen and super screen?
Yeah, I'm guessing you don't have any of that around you.
No, I don't even know what that is. Ultra screen and super screen. What's the difference?
So ultra screen, hold on, let me, because I'm gonna get the measurements wrong. Let me just type it in real quick.
Like, does it make that much of a difference of picking one or the other?
I mean, to some, probably.
How about the bid fucking screen? Which one is just the bid fucking screen?
Okay, so
the screen without the babies crying and the people fucking talking. Where's that screen?
So ultra screen is for ultra screen and ultrasound experience, a massive screen size that can extend up to 3 stories tall for maximum viewing.
Okay.
So that's ultra screen.
3 stories tall. Okay.
I just clicked on something. Damn, I'm moving too fast. I clicked on something and showed the measurements, but then I clicked on something else. So 75 feet wide by 32 feet tall. That's ultra view for ultra screen. Then it says, hold on, then they have super screen. So which one is bigger? Who's got the biggest?
Ask her, not me.
So super screen. And then you have, I know 40X is pretty wide as well. Yeah,
okay,
super screen DLX auditorium combines dream lounge or recliner seating with an oversized screen. So floor to ceiling. So I guess as big as like your theater is, like for screen wise.
Yes.
God damn. All these. So there's so many. Like, so you have 4DX as well, which, so from the image that I have here, I don't think I can share it, but so you have your screen in the front, your screen on the side, and then your screen on the side there. But it's all in like a front forward view so that you don't have to like look from left to right. It's like all in front of you. So I guess picture like a curved TV, but it's really, really big. So, but 3 stories high, that's insane. I mean,
Yeah, well, apparently having all those goddamn screens aren't help because people aren't seeing the fucking films in theaters regardless. So ultra
exactly.
screen, mega screen. Hey, Uncle Bill, I thought you were doing a stream. I guess it ended already. The halfway to Black Friday sale.
What's up, UB?
How's it going, man?
How much money did
Thanks
you
for
spend?
stopping by.
You used that
Yeah, we
credit
got done
card?
with the movie. Just got done. Gotcha. Yeah, how much hole got put in the wallet? Because I know you did the video earlier. That did you ever find out how that got muted the first time, or just YouTube screwed up? Because they uploaded a premiere video, it was muted. They shut it down and then they re-uploaded it and worked fine. But
Hmm.
like the first time, for some reason, like YouTube screwed up and muted the whole video, which was strange. Oh yeah, I don't want to talk about how much I spent. That's okay, man. That's okay.
Oh,
But we got
okay.
done with the movie. Yeah.
MP
StreamYard glitch. Okay.
MPA says new apes and 40X with the moving seats and tickets cost $30.
Jesus
Yeah.
Christ. I mean, 40X. Is that the stuff like they spray shit in your face and stuff? Like mist in your face? Is that 40X?
Yeah. It's
But isn't it like they do? Like they spray
yeah.
water in your face and
Yeah, it's water.
like me.
I think they do smoke or
You
fog or
hope,
whatever. Yeah, you
hope
hope it's
water.
water.
I don't know if I want that shit spraying my face when I'm watching a movie. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, no,
I guess if people want,
I went to one 40X movie years and years ago, but yeah, there yeah, spray you with pee. It could be. Somebody
yeah,
just
with a
got
Brita
fired.
filter,
Yeah, some dude got fired and
Brita
he's like,
filter.
I'm gonna fuck everybody up. I'm just gonna piss in the system and it's
You
gonna
know that
spray
has
everybody.
happened. They
Probably.
just didn't want to tell anybody. They don't want to tell anybody because it would be like, we'll never come to this theater again. You know, someone has pissed in the gas tank. No, someone has pissed. When Patrick Swayze tells you to piss in the tank, you do it. Red Dawn style. But yeah, you know someone has done something like that. That's why it's like, I don't want anything sprayed in my face.
Oh, okay. He says water falls from the ceiling and smoke effects. Yeah, the seat. I know the seats
Huh.
vibrate. And I know some of them have the 3D option as well, where you can watch it in 3D as well. Um, and then like I've seen the
Okay.
one where like this was a clip where like the ceiling was part of it too. Like so it was like a fire scene, and then like it looked like the ceiling was really on fire. I've seen that online before. I've never actually went to that. I mean, again, it's been a long time since I've gone, so it's probably way more advanced now. This was like over a decade ago.
Wait, okay. For Uncle Bill when he's in here, could you name all those different type of screens again? Like the mega screen
Yeah,
and
hold on.
the super screen. I want to know if Uncle Bill knew there was this many screens in a theater. Well, obviously 3D, you know, but
Mm-hmm.
half of these I didn't know what the hell they were.
Okay,
I mean, I've been in a theater. Well, yeah.
so standard, super screen, ultra screen, 40X, 3D, IMAX, and EMX.
So what is EMX?
I've never experienced that. I will look it up. It's on the list of different options
You
right
take
here.
You take ecstasy before you fucking go to the theater. That's what the E stands for. That'd be a hell of a different experience watching a movie on ecstasy. There you go. They give you a pill, you take it, and then you experience the movie.
I'm gonna look this up. Hold on, let's see. What is EMX?
That's how they got Pee Wee Herman. He was in one of those theaters with the ecstasy. But yeah.
Okay, so it's sort of like IMAX, but this one, I guess the screen's even bigger. So Dolby Atmos sound, state of the art 4K projectors, laser projectors, power reclining seating, and all showcased on wall to wall screening. So I'm not sure if that's like, I'm not sure if that's vertical or horizontal or both. Maybe, I don't know.
So that has all that, but then the other one is like 3 stories tall. I'm like,
take your pick. You got options now, Matt.
I probably didn't. No one's seen these films in theaters, so it probably didn't fucking matter. They have 6, 7 options. You're making more options than people in the theater than nowadays.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I don't even know if like all that's. Oh, here's another one. I'm guessing this is probably just one thing. This just popped up. It says Dolby Cinema. Let me check to see what that is, if that's anything different. It's like
does it have a big fucking screen?
Possibly. Let's see.
That's all you need, just a seat that's comfortable and a screen.
It just has the advantages of your 2D viewing on a normal screen with Dolby Vision, like they have at home for like 4Ks or whatever, and then you have Dolby Atmos audio. So
Christ.
Yeah, I think that's it.
But with that said, have to be coming to a close because it's past midnight now for me. Been going on for a little over 3 hours. The movie ended like an hour ago. So we just been talking.
Just it's talking about these screens.
These theaters, yeah. It was a fun conversation.
Yeah.
Coming up, for me, first off, I'll be uploading more videos daily. Saturday the 25th, 7 p.m. Central. I'm just going to do like a birthday stream for a couple hours. Then Sunday, I think also around 7 p.m., my friend Efrey wanted us to do a stream, and that'll be on the film Speed. I guess because it's the anniversary, that's 1994. Here we are in 2024.
Cool.
So I know he wanted to do a stream again, and that movie came up. He's like, sure, why not? And then there'll be more uploads of videos and so on and so forth. How about you, Mark?
Honestly, probably just another Dead Pitch stream next week, not this week. I do have something to upload to Dead Pitch channel, and I've been working on that all week. It's a video where it's basically just a review, but it's going to be spoiler free, and it's really hard to not spoil this movie. But yeah,
can you say what the movie is or no?
Oh yeah, it's the review for the coffee table. I've been working late every day this week, including today. And the other days I've been working even later than I was today. So I've been super tired. I eat, just crash, and haven't really been able to finish it. CK is probably pissed at me. But yeah, because I told him I'd have it done by next weekend, and I actually did finish it. I just didn't. I finished recording it. I just didn't finish editing. So I gotta put that on their channel, and yeah, that, and then I'll probably try as hard as I can since we have the 3-day weekend coming up. I'll do like just a regular video on something in the collection for my channel. I need to do something else. I've only been doing like live streams lately, but
Cool.
I'll probably just have another collection video up soon.
And what is you said you're going to be part of a Dead Pit live stream? Do you know the date or the subject or?
It'll be another stream on the Italian filmmakers, and that'll be next Sunday if nothing changes. Something could change, but next Sunday.
So the Sunday a couple days from now or after?
No. This Sunday they're doing a stream with Wet Movie 1.
Okay, yeah, that's right.
Mm-hmm. So the one I'm doing is
The
the
Sunday
week after. Yeah.
And last shout out, thank you, man. Thanks for the stream night, guys. You have a good night too, man. Thank you so much for that kindness, man. Really appreciate it, man. Yeah, Premier, if you want. I mean, I'll probably after the stream on my birthday and then on Sunday, since I only have a limited amount on the phone, I probably won't be able to do a stream till around past June 6th of next month. So these last two in this month will be kind of the maybe I could do one more, maybe. But yeah, there'll be plenty of videos, and Mark mentioned there'll be videos from him coming out on his channel, which is Stuntman Marq, M-A-R-K.
Q.
Feel free to check them out. And yeah, thanks for joining me, man. Fun as always.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you to people in the chat. Fuck Beetlejuice 2. Fuck Alien 3. And fuck Alien 3. Fuck it. It sucks. See you guys later.
See you later.